All right, morning, guys. All right, let's see. All right, well, I try and start around 20, so we'll give it another minute or two because we've been a little wobbly on the time. We're getting tighter. 11:30 is when we intend to start. So I know members will be here quickly, and we'll get some subs as well to join us here. It looks like I appreciate you guys posting so much content. We got a lot to work with today. So I appreciate that, guys. It just makes it, I think, better for everyone, both members as well as anyone who have an interest in joining us. So, I got to be honest, I haven't even hardly looked at the markets over the weekend because I was out of town. So coming in, it's a little wobbly from a lot of travel, but with fresh eyes on the market. So we'll give it another minute or two here. Well, of course, I always keep an eye on what Bitcoin's doing. All right, so let's give it another. What time is it? I'll give it another 2-3 minutes. See if we get some more here. Should be an interesting fourth quarter here. I don't know if you guys have seen some of the news talking about potentially up to 4 ETFs coming in before the end of the year. That would be interesting. That's a whole lot of buying that's going to come into the market. All right, guys. Now we're losing members. We're losing viewers, not gaining. So maybe I'll just get started here. Let's see if we can get to 15. And there. All right, so I got James M. I got Zafar, Crypto Cole. All right, well, let me go over to our first contestant here, Freight 57. That's what I have up in front of us, ICP to the dollar tether on Binance. I kind of wish he was on because this is kind of an interesting approach he's got here. So we don't go too long. I know the majority of the people that view it aren't here live. They watch it after the fact because we watch the numbers and see what kind of views they get, whether it's worth continuing to do this. And they typically, we get, I don't know, about 10 to 1 after it's done and posted. So let me go ahead and start here and we'll just get rolling. So Freight 57 first up. Now there's a couple of things on this chart here. Now what he sent me here is a 30-minute, but always is often the case when it's not your work, you kind of need to pull out and say, okay, well, where are we? One of the things that you'll see here, and this is part of, hang on a second. Sorry, Bloomberg on in the background. The valuable thing to do, it's a little bit time consuming, but once you've done it, then you have it. You don't have to keep coming back to it. And this is something my partner, for those of you that are watching on Wednesdays, when you see Monty Crypto do his work, he's very diligent about this, getting all these key levels. So you can see here all the weekly, monthly levels that are in here. So these become great reference points. And as I pull out to what he's doing here, I can see, because I'm looking at the Elliott count going, wow, that's a pretty aggressive choice to be, it would be low risk. But that's a mighty deep too. I'm thinking of in terms of the Elliott count. But if you just kind of scroll out here and look at it, let's do it this way here. It starts to make a little more sense to me. So I just see all of this is, okay, what do we got here? We got accumulation, right? It's not too hard to deduce that considering where we've come from. Although this skews your data so much, so you really don't want that. So if I just look here, okay, lots of accumulation. Look at all the volume here. Right. If we're going to have the kind of alt season that so many think is coming, boy, are we teed up for a big move here. Right. So this is one to really watch. I'll let you guys do your own research on whether what you're interested in what the project is doing. There's so much overlap. I think there's a lot of overlap with regards to some of the alt projects here. There's going to be quite a battle to see who's going to be dominant here. So I don't really dig too much into what's behind ICP and all the things that we look at here. You got to do a little digging on your own to see if you're enthusiastic about what they're trying to accomplish with this crypto asset. So all that said here, again, you pull up a chart and you look even if you just did this and said, okay, well, there was the major pivot, right? So we can see the bump here that we ran into, and then just as I did before, okay, that sure looks like accumulation to me. So that doesn't mean that it's inevitable that it flies and we're up to 140 or higher, but certainly the technical pattern would make you think that. All right, let's accumulate down here. Relatively low risk. I mean, this could be something very interesting. All right. So part of the reason I wanted to take you out here so you can see this, because when I zoom in on the 30-minute, the Elliott count is it looks a little bit unusual to be looking for an entry that deep. So let me get all of this out of here now. I think we got everything out. Okay. So the Elliott work here is quite good, actually. There's some tricky bits here. Well, so here, this is pretty straightforward, right? This is one of those nice examples here. And, we get so many comments from people that watch the videos we post. Well, it would be more mine than money cryptos. Well, they say Elliott is just not effective in cryptocurrency. Why are you doing it? It doesn't work in crypto. We get that so often. Well, my first question is, why the hell is that person watching a video of mine, right? Which is, they know there's going to be, well, I would assume they get some sense that there's going to be some Elliott tied to it. But Elliott doesn't work in crypto. Okay. Let's see if we can bear that out here. Well, I got a clear 5 here. I got a sideways 3 here. I got a clear 5 here. Now there's a little complexity here, but I mean, okay, here's my swing structure. Okay. Oh, well, it didn't overlap the 1. It's probably just a coincidence. Okay. So was it technical? All right, so there's a nice clean 5. We finished with a 5. Oh, 2 to the 4. I just do this because I want you guys to go through that same process. Okay. 2 to the 4. Well, okay. So if you're not a fan of the Elliott, okay. How about the algo? How'd that do? All right. I've got to assume that anybody who has been exposed to this pattern here based on these fib levels and that target, we don't need to talk about whether or not that's an active algorithm in the market, right? If you're just waking up to that, well, then there's a lot of content that's on our channel for you to review to where I think that can be solidified in your mind that that's a very active algorithm. It's not the only algorithm. It's just one that we can track because it leaves these nice footprints. How do we know it's an algorithm? Not because we have a buy down here between a 50 and a golden zone. That is not how you know it's an algorithm. How do we know it's an algorithm? It's the reaction at the target. That I promise you is not random. I mean, again, I've probably shown it, at this point, at least 10,000 times, at least, probably more than that. So here we go. All right. So I got a nice impulse coming off the low. All right. Well, that makes me think, well, maybe the Elliott wave is just working here in ICP. Okay. Well, then I got a 5 down. Well, I know if I've got a 5 up, see, it's just unusual. I don't understand the thinking. This is what is confusing to me. I know most people here are looking for some TA on this, but just to take the other side of it. So people say, well, the Elliott wave just didn't work in crypto. I can't understand that thinking. I really struggle with that. So here's a clear impulse, right? I don't think anybody who has even the vaguest exposure to Elliott wave would struggle identifying a 5 here. Well, if I've got a 5 and I get a 5 down here, reasonable. Nothing says that it must roll over into a 3. Nothing says that this pattern is inevitable. I use that word a lot. That is not ever what we're saying. It's just what's most probable. If I've got a 5 down here and I'm in the long here, well, maybe if you're a scalper, right, you might be playing off of some sort of reaction here, some of this structure, maybe a little front run here. I mean, you can always, remember, in hindsight here, you can always talk yourself into, oh, yeah, well, I would have bought that right here for a little scalp, right? You can always talk yourself into that. And, oh, well, I see here we ran into this structure, so I would have sold it there, or I would have taken profit there. Try to be real with yourself. And I do understand very much so that as we go back through the analysis, that this is hindsight, right? So much easier in hindsight. But the whole point of going back in time here and looking at this is based on what our anticipation is here at the hard right edge of the market, based on what's come before it. Now, you could, I suppose you could look at this and say, well, I'm coming into structure here. I'm coming into some weekly levels that are important here, so I'm interested in being a buyer. Okay, well, that's a very valid approach to it. I wouldn't discourage anyone. I certainly wouldn't discourage you from highlighting your weekly, monthly levels, key levels, right? And they don't necessarily need to be tied to something on the calendar. It could be something that you've identified. Well, clearly, this was an important level. But the advantage of Elliott Wave is always the advantage of it is that it's giving us context, right? So I use that word a lot. But if this is a 1-2, and then once again, I can get a 5 here, the context implies that there's a reasonable, not a certainty, just a reasonable expectation that if this pivot holds, heavy emphasis on if this pivot holds, I've got the makings of another impulse. 1, 2, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? This is perfect Elliott. Well, maybe it's just an ICP. Well, we'll see. We'll probably go through 20 assets here. I'd be very surprised if and there will be some, right? There's always something where the Elliott is not, it's either not there, which is often the case, or it's happening on a larger time frame where it's not adding any value. So you'll find that I'm quick to come to the point where I say, look at this and go, the Elliott's not helping me here. You get two choices here. If you're a purist, you might say, well, next chart. But I'm not being a purist. I'm going to look for what the algo did last. Right? Right? We just looked at what it did last. Well, what's going on here? Well, as I look here, I can already just look at that. I don't even have to measure it. Right? We've broken the algo. Now, does that mean I don't want to trade this since I want to go this? Not necessarily. I mean, it's always more advantageous if you're tucking in behind an algo, right? Of course, nothing guarantees that you're on the right side because the algo could just as easily come up here, hit a golden zone, and come here till it's Monday, and come down here and hit its target down here. Well, then you're back here going, oh, okay, the A, B, C, W, X. Oh, maybe it's an X, A, B, maybe it's a W, X, Y. Rarely will you get to a point, although it does happen, to where you can't get a count on it. It may be a count that you say, well, I kind of think that might be it, but I'm not comfortable trading it. It happens, right? I'd be the first to say, I mean, if I pull up a chart, I don't like it, I'm gone in a hurry, right? There's so many things to trade. Why would you fuck around with something? Unless you love the story fundamentally, then you're not trading it technically. If I pull something up technically, I don't like it, next chart. This happens to be absolutely a perfect Elliott Wave progression here. Now, it does that again, because it's perfect now, doesn't mean it stays perfect. But if I can find something like this, right, I mean, here again, as I will often tell you guys, the big value here, in addition to those of you that are still learning Elliott Wave or trying to perfect the craft, or the way that we incorporate the pillars of our approach, which is Elliott, geometry, fib relationships tied to algorithmic patterns, it's the combination here is very appealing here. So this right now, even though as I look at this, Freight 57, it looks like he's more interested in buying it down here. Now, I approach it that way. I'd be buying it right now based off of this structure. Right into structure, I've got a retracement. I got a 5. I've got an identifiable, easy to identify 5-wave structure, and it fits with where we are in the context of the market, right? So I've got 5, I've got 3, I've got 1, I've got 2. Right? Again, doesn't mean that it couldn't go down here. I'm never saying that, but this is a trade, right? If we had certainty, this wouldn't be trading. This would just be printing money. Now, so Freight 57, I'm going to beg to differ with you here. I don't want to talk you out of this as a good location, but for an Elliott trader, this I would not do. I would not be a buyer down here. Now, if it came, so look what you'd be doing. Well, I see. I'm basing this off of the way you're drawing your P&L. So it kind of looks to me like you're. Oh, I see what you're doing. All right, there's your 5. All right, I got to go down to your 30 minutes so I can understand this. Okay, so you're going 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You're looking, rather than the idea of a truncation here, which I would agree with you here. I wouldn't count on that being a truncation. That you want this. Let's see, have you got that locked? No, you want this to come down here, right? Where we'd bring it down here, because the pattern that you're suggesting, I kind of got a double top there. All right. Is there another way to count this? Let's have a look here. A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you finish that? Looks like you can't, right? So I see you're thinking here. So either one of two things is going to happen here. You're going to have to live with that truncation. What is this here? What is that squiggly line? Is that VWAP? Oh, it's VWAP. Okay, let me get rid of that here because that's throwing me off a little bit. Well, of course, just looking at this. So if I was trying to interpret that this was going to be my corrective wave structure, well, that certainly could be how it that. Again, I always come back to why take a trade if you don't love it. So for me, this is not a trade I would pursue. What I would do I would want to confirm that I got 5 coming off of here, because the Elliott count could stay valid, right? As long as we don't overlap this, and if we come here, there will be a huge drive amongst bears to try and get stops down there when. Listen, remember every bear, every pivot, it's not necessarily, I'm going to sell it here. I'm going to run those stops so that I can take it to zero. There could be scalpers here. I mean, you drop $1 million on that and it's not always like, I think it's going to go way down here. You don't know what the other trader's doing. Now you can look at order flow and some of the tools. Okay, what are they going after? But this is definitely going to be a target for bears because they know there'll be fuel down there. Now, of course, the thing you always have to be mindful of is that just as there are stops down there, fuel for bears, that's also classic retail bait. Oh, breakout, I better sell it, right? And then it does that. Or so double bottoms, double tops. You have to be mindful of the fact that traders are looking to manipulate you, just like they were here, just like they were here. I mean, just like they were up here. It's the way that the inexperienced trader gets taken advantage of. So there's never, you don't want to put yourself in a position to where you're vulnerable to that, which is why I don't ever advise you trade breakouts, ever. Because you're too vulnerable. It's certainly out at this time frame. Now, if we're on a 2000 tick chart or something and you're scalping out, that's a different story. But if you're out here on something like this, where you're looking at these major swings up here at these, we could go through chart after chart after chart and show you example after example after example of double tops and double bottoms where retail breakout traders just get bent over. And then all it takes was for someone to say, is for this, right? Oh, hey, there's a breakout that went. Did it go, or did it just come back to where it broke out from? Right. See, that's the trade you want, which I try to emphasize to you guys. Because, oh shit, man, that guy told me not to take the breakout. Look at that thing run. It's never coming back. Damn it. I hate that guy. I missed that trade. This is so much better of a place to enter the market because what's happening here, they're coming back to test, right? So the people that have the muscle to move the market, they want to know, is more supply going to come in here? Oh, I got up here. Oh, but let's check the structure, right? All of this. What's going to happen there? This is so much better of a place to enter the market than here because I guarantee somebody bought it there, right? What a little business was done there. Oh, it's going. That's it, right? They're not paying attention to Elliott Wave. Oh, I got a breakout. I got a runner. Oh, it's going to keep going. You're immediately underwater, right? So you even here, right? Oh, there's a little. I mean, this is. So you can look at this and say, well, why don't you just take it right there? I want to take it right here so that by the time I get there, I've already got house money. So if I've got a little cushion. Oh, you're not going to hurt me. You're not going to damage my account. Maybe I get the breakout. Maybe I don't. But here, the risk reward is so much better than buying it here. Always, if you can, try and buy. Well, shit. I mean, I can't believe I'm even saying it. Well, we have new members and we have new traders watching here. That's just a good habit to try and get into because here it is again, right? Somebody bought this on the assumption it was going to keep going. Promise you, right? I mean, obviously, right? It traded there. You want to be long going into a previous top or short going into a previous low. So you've got that cushion. Now, there are going to be times where the breakout's going to work and you say, well, that fucking guy. Always better to go into a previous top with some cushion, even if it's 4 or 5 points, just something to where you're not going to get immediately jammed and be underwater, because that's what happens in it. And that's why they see what happens. So this is a great example here. Look at the reaction that comes here. So you've got this little consolidation box up that's happening up here. Jesus, must be Monday. Up here, you got this little consolidation box here. So while this is happening over here, you don't know what's coming. We don't know what's coming. And Grant, I get it, guys. I know this is hindsight trading, but I'm just trying to make the point. You're here. There's going to be bulls saying, "Oh, okay, well, all right, we're stalling. Crypto's ripping. Okay, I want to take it. I'm going to buy it in there." Right? And look how fast they just get jammed. It's just they're literally getting butt raped here. This is just what they want to see you do. Okay, all right, we're buying here. We're buying here. So what happens is now we break this. Now there's panic. So bulls have to panic, right? And then then you get liquidation. That's why it goes so fast. And you'll find that this often comes from these consolidation ranges, because the inexperienced is a better way to try to say it. The inexperienced traders go, "Oh man, all right, we're going, here we go." And now it's panic, fear. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh, well, then, right, here's oh man, I'm glad I didn't put a stop on it. Okay, here we go. Here we go. We're coming. I survived it. They didn't take out the stops here. Shit, I can't even tell if they did. Well, they did, right? What? I really didn't come into this with this as my intention. I tell Money Crypto, I never know what I'm going to say, because every chart is a little bit different. They're all the same. So do you see what's happening here? Somebody sold it here. Oh, we're going down. Here we go. Here we go. Right back up. Just jam it. It's just in your face. So over time, if you just wait, if you just don't take the bait, that's literally what it is. Oh, come on, retail. Come on, take it, take it, take it. I promise you, I'm doing this for so long. I've seen so many thousands and thousands and thousands of traders lose money. I'm 10 years as a broker. I watched a lot of people just blow themselves up. You're a broker. It's a little bit different. You're not trading their account. You're just trying to help them execute the orders. I saw so many. And then it's just hopium. And then once it's bad, it goes from bad to worse. If you just maintain this discipline and say, okay, I'm not going to buy breakouts. I'm going to wait for a retest. I promise you, your trading experience will be so much more, not only profitable, but you'll enjoy the process more, because nobody likes that. Of course it has. I just want you to try and think it through. Wouldn't that make sense, right? If I can buy the retrace, if I get, hey, maybe there's an interest in this, right? So bulls are actually coming in. Buyers are coming in. Look at the volume. Buyers are coming in. Is that going to just keep going straight? Well, of course it could, but isn't it a wiser choice? This is why I constantly try and describe myself this way. I am it's just after doing this for a long time, it's just a smarter way to do it. No, front run on the 50, right? A couple of ticks right into the structure. That even there, I wouldn't necessarily take it right here. This is the one I want you to take here. Oh, right now. Okay, so I've confirmed. I'm coming off of structure. So this was a retracement, and this is a retracement following the retracement. Look at the risk reward, right? So it could stop me out, of course. And if you didn't like that one, oh, shit, I missed it. I didn't see it. It happened overnight. I was asleep. Then you got this one. Stop here. It's just, you got to think, right? Dumb traders don't last long. You don't, right? You just don't. You're just a guppy in a shark pool. They will literally pull money out of your pocket all day long, right? We could just go through chart after chart after chart, the same thing, right? I mean, this is the same thing here. You just got a wick, right? Oh, I got it, man. Oh, perfect. Down they go. It's just jail bait. Well, that's the wrong way to say it, but it's retail bait is what that is. Don't be the bait, right? Don't. All right. Like I said, I never know what's going to come out of my mouth here when I start these things, right? Because everything's a little bit different. All right. So this is not how I would do it. I think you're pushing the Elliott here as a 2. Would it be a 2? Well, technically, yes, but that's not the 2 you want. If I was interested down here, I'd want to do this. I'd say, okay, show me that. looking at it here, I've got a weekly level here that's important. It's responded. Now so I don't want to try to pick the turn. I don't want to, something you never want to try and do is pick the trend change. I know I used to do it all the time. I used to think that's what I do. That's what I am. I'm picking the trend change. That's not, I want to see the reaction at the key technical level. I want to take the first retrace. You say, well, wait a minute, man. What if it goes up here? Well, didn't you just miss all of that? I promise you over time, if you wait for that, you'll be better. So I think this is interesting the way you're approaching this, Frade 57. But I'd encourage you to maybe think right there. Right? Even though you don't quite have that 5 in, maybe you get it down here. Now you're at what are you at there? 786 looks like. Yeah, 786. I know we can go 887. We can go 90. Right? You're getting mighty close down here, which is why that's a more dangerous place to do it, because the stops over there are just become the target. Even if you took a small bite here and then just here, let's get that 5 to finish. If I took a little bite here and I had laid it out saying, okay, if it comes down, I'm going to buy a little bit more there. And if it double bottoms here, then I might take a little bit more here. So I've thought through on the possibility that it's going to come down here and test the weekly. Otherwise, really, you don't even need the Elliott wave. Just work off of the weekly levels. So not to be critical of your work. That's really not what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to say that take the 2 here because it's going to be, what do we got there? $4 from the absolute low. I just wouldn't like the risk profile. I would say, okay, if we get here, show me, God damn it. Give me the reaction. Give me the retrace. I'm on a 30 minute, so that's very small. If I get this, maybe I take this retrace. Oh, if I get this, well, what am I anticipating now? Do I want to hold it here? If I get this, do I want to hold it? If you're thinking long-term and you like that position, because odds are 50% of it's coming back. So do you want to hold it? Well, of course, then you're thinking in your mind is, well, what if it keeps going? What if I get an extension in the 5th? What if it's 1, 2, 1, 2? Well, we just looked at that in Bitcoin. What if it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and you keep going? Well, yeah, right. What if you win the lottery tomorrow? You can't think that way. If you're applying this methodology, okay, I'm looking for a reaction here. I'm looking, doesn't hold. Okay, well, I'll come back later. If I get this, do I want to stay with it? Well, your assumption is that if I got this, now, forgive the crooked, here, let's just do it this way. All right, if I get I'm quick on the mouse today. If I get this and it keeps going, okay, loser, welcome to trade. Something else happened. Oh, that happened. Okay, well then what that changes the count, changes all everything I'm thinking. Maybe we're going down to this weekly. Maybe we're going to test the all-time low. Right? Always easy in hindsight. Frade 57, the Elliott work here is excellent, right? Even this work here coming down to, it looks like, oh God, it was almost perfect, right? You wanted that to be the 4, here comes the 5. Since you don't get it, maybe that's your thinking, right? So if I don't get it, I'm going to buy down at the weekly because it looks like this. Oh, let's go to the 15, see what you're thinking in there. I don't think I see your problem in here, right? You don't have a clean finish. Well, God, you don't have it, right? Once you can't go 1, 2. So you have to do it here. You're kind of digging it, the 1, 2 out here. You're already truncating here. You don't want to truncate twice, right? So unless, you just can't finish it, right? So this would be, okay, I like this asset. I'm interested here, but I'm not ready to trade it yet. That's me personally, right? I would this would be on my watch list. I might, I'd probably put an alert up in this section here. If it starts to turn back out here, we're going to go through some of this structure. I'd be watching for that. And maybe you're just going to get a sloppy bottom down here. Wouldn't be the first time. So 1 for the watch list here. Obviously, I think Frade 57, you posted this one before. So I know this is one you're watching here. That's my thought. And I like, you guys notice here the lines here. So he's putting in fib time here. So he's taking the length of this impulse here, and then from that projecting, looking at the time. So 618 would be, well, right here on his pivot. Here's 100% the length of it. It's just a nice, it's one more additional confluence point that you can add into your trading and say, well, hey, what if I got that on the 618? So this could come down. What if I got it over here at the weekly at the 100? Now that seems to be more what you're thinking. But right back to this pivot. It's dicey. That would be well, we're coming over here. That now the count's going to, you're likely relabeling a bit, right? Rather than 3, 4, and we're going to put the 5 way down here. I mean, shit, anything's possible, right? Maybe we do it here. Just because we have fib time here doesn't mean it will be 100%. I mean, it might be here. Fib time is kind of, I'd go there, okay, if in addition to everything else, I've got fib time, all the better. But I wouldn't say, I'm not taking it here because I don't have fib time. All right, God damn it, I went too long on that one. All right, Fade 57, good work. All right, next up, I got James M. Is this the one you wanted me to? Yes, this is the one you want me to do. Okay. Okay. Let's see what this one is. Give me a sec while I load this up here. That's not right. When I get there, let's try that again. Copy link. Bear with me. So that's your image. Okay, so I got one that's your image, and this is the actual live chart. So let me get that. All right, this is GRT to the dollar. This is a favorite of James M. He's been all over this one. Top left is the count. Okay, so let me see top left. Shit. I'll make the copy.
I'm going to buy the fuck out of that.
God, it's hot in here. Okay, top left. All right, what are we thinking here? We got a 6 hour. I kill the indicators just to get more room, and I come back to those last. So it's not like I don't think there's value down there. It's just where I go last. Okay. Well, this is kind of funky. All right. So looks like we're working through a diagonal here. It's getting pretty tricky in here. One thing I like that James always does, he's always got geometry running every direction, right? So he's always looking for where can I find confluence between a count, a fib swing, median lines, channels, right? Where it's the thing nobody else spots, right? Kind of gives you a little bit of an advantage. So you have this unusual. What do we got here? Well, so it's not unusual. I shouldn't say it that way. Looks like this is a shift set of median lines with lots of runners here, so often called warning lines. He's using the channel here off of base of this data and just extending it out. Well, this has been, that's a mighty deep retracement here. So we're going to go ABC into the W. We got to go ABC here. Oh shit, how are we doing that? Yeah, I guess that'll work. ABC, 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 ABC. Now you have, because this is a diagonal at this point here, there's no alternate here unless, you got a secondary count here. I see it. 1, 2, 3, deep 4. This being your invalidation point, or 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, that's the Uber Bowl. All right, let's go to a 2 hour. It does look like we can finish down here. We're trying to get, that's mighty deep. All right, so here, this being just a straight trend line. Here's a straight trend line. So we have a little bit of intersection there. Looks like this is classic Elliott. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. It's mighty deep. A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you get a nice ending diagonal to finish. So you've got that's interesting. So you've got this as a diagonal, as a candidate over here. So he's got multiple counts in here, because this could be A, B, C into an X, and then you're going to finish down here for the Z, right? So you see his alternate would be, this would come lower. I mean, that's kind of just a reality check on Elliott Wave. You don't, when you're sitting here, this is a moment in time, right? I was trying to say, it's just a snapshot as to where we are. That's all we ever get. Okay, where are we sitting right now? This could be a WXYZ. It could be 1, 2, 3, 4. Market kind of shows us, and we can eliminate some possibilities. So this has to be down here as a candidate until the market takes it off the board. But as you're sitting here right now, well, that's certainly viable. If this is going to roll over again, well, what process of elimination? Okay, well, do you see what happens there? And this is one of the big advantages of Elliott that I think people miss. Right now, this could be multiple things. If the market will move a little bit further out of this, I start taking things off the table. If we break this low, if we break this low, well, the diagonal's off the table. Well, now we're back to a WXYXZ. If we roll over here, then this count has to be rethought, because even though right now it finishes perfectly, I can get a 1, 2 into this. Nothing says that holds. If it does, okay, WXY is off, and we got this very deep diagonal. Okay, well then I have conviction. I understand where I think the market is, but it's just that emphasis where I think the market is, because the market could. Right, we never know what it's going to be. Even if we eliminate the WXYXZ, we still don't know what's coming. We can think we have a fairly good idea of what's coming. And with that, we can put together a risk-reward profile. I think I know what it is. If I'm going to lose 1%, or if you've got a 3 to 1, right, depending on the amount of risk that you're taking, even if you just took a 3 to 1 here, or a 4 to 1, or a 5 to 1, if you're just getting 3 to 1, your risk reward is much, much more important than your win rate. I mean, it's been well documented. 35, 40%. You can do fantastically well in the markets with a good risk reward. If you're making 3+ more than you're losing when you're wrong, and you're going to be wrong more than you're right, I don't care who you are. Over time, you're going to be wrong more than you're right. So what else do you have? Oh, okay. Well, I'm just going to take the structure. Well, I got a little consolidation. I'll take the breakout, right? This is, if I didn't think it was better, I wouldn't spend so much time on it. I wouldn't teach it. If I just thought, oh, well, yeah, I'm just going to, right, just do this. Oh, we're coming back into support. I mean, it's perfectly valid. I just don't think it's better. If I did, I wouldn't spend any time. Boy, would things be easier. Oh, well, let's just wick up support, resistance. Here we go. Drew some lines. There we go. Easier. All right. There's 24 different types of corrections we have to deal with here in Elliott Wave. So so you say 24, are you out of your mind? 24, not only do you have to know, you have to do your best to try and ingrain them into your head, so you're not constantly checking, what is it? Oh, I reckon, it's a WXY. Oh, 3333. Oh, I know what it is. Over time, the more you do it, you won't have to check your Elliott Wave cheat sheet. You'll recognize it because you will have seen it before, because these patterns repeat over and over and over again. All right, so let me get in here on a 2-hour. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got a very strong candidate here for a technical pivot. Nothing more. It's a little bit ugly in terms of the diagonal. That's deeper than you'd prefer. I know James would prefer that doesn't go that deep, but there it is. All right, so does it kill the diagonal? Nope, doesn't. I mean, you can look here and say, oh, 1, 2, maybe, oh, you wanted that to go, right? Yeah, I know James, right? He's thinking, oh man, there it is. Oh, off we go. Doesn't happen. So what else could it be? Oh, hey, look at that. Ending diagonal. Perfect. I recognize that one. Okay, let's go in there a little further. So if I've got a candidate here for the 4, and I know I'm in the midst of a diagonal, I'm not really looking for an impulse out of here. And if I am looking for an impulse, it's got to be in the context of a 3, right? To stay consistent with the pattern that we're in, right? This is our 4, not our low. Again, based on patterns that are prone to repeating, this could be the low, and then this count has to get relabeled, right? And then people say, oh man, you guys are always relabeling shit all the time. You never know. Well, my point, nobody knows. Of course we're relabeling. We have a moment in time here. That doesn't mean that it will be what we identify here at this spot here. what the hell, where are we? October 11th at this moment in time. I know what it is. No, you don't. Nobody knows what it is. Nobody. But based on what's here, I can make a business decision as to whether or not I'm comfortable putting money at risk based on the risk reward. Where's my stop? What's my target? Does it make sense to put money at risk here? Otherwise, you just buy them because you like the sound of it. Oh, shit, man, I can buy GRT at 0.7. Oh, shit, man, sounds pretty good. Who cares about all this shit? Plenty of people trade that way. Plenty. The majority. This, what we're doing here, this is the minority. The vast minority approach it with this kind of precision. Way too hard for the average person. They don't even know it. They don't even know how to do this. Well, it looks pretty good. I can buy Bitcoin, under 60,000, under 100,000. I can buy Graph under $1. Oh, shit, man, pretty good. I'll sit on it for 5 years and we'll see how it goes. Much, much easier. You want to be a craftsman? This is how you do it, right? It's just like anything, right? You want to get good at something, you put the time and the effort in. Otherwise, you're just another lazy trader. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Oh, look at all the detail work here. I'm on a 2 hour here and I can get the nice impulse that comes up here. Now, is it a 1? Is it an A? We can deduce what it is, right? Based on this, if this holds as the 4, okay, I got 5. Well, I'm not looking for this to be the 1. It could be the 1, could be. But what's more probable? It's part of the diagonal. So this could be the 1 of the A of the A, right? This could be way up here. So all of these variables here, this is how you respond to the market based on what it's doing. I got a 5 up, I got a 3 down. I'm interested. Look at the technical work here. Right, James will never miss one of these, right? He's been with us way too long. So he knows that. Right? Look at that. Perfect. Now, the bear side algo with the bull count. 1, look, right. So there's a nice target for the Y. Does that mean it has to go there? Of course not, right? Because if we go down to a 15-minute, there's another algo in here on the buy side. Oh, looks like it might have broken though. Could be. Oh, you see how this just happens over and over? So we're coming from this golden zone. Now we're at this golden zone. And look here. Look at the reaction. I can't make this shit up, guys. It's impossible to do, right? I do this every week now, twice a week, and I do the same thing in every chart every time. And over and over and over again, I show you this over and over and over again. And sooner or later, I'm starting to think that maybe they'll start to pay attention and I can help you. If you're not a member of, you don't have to be a member of ours. But if you are, you're going to learn this the way you need to learn it. Because we're not just going to go, oh, well, good luck with that. We're going to drill it into you until you understand it, till you don't have to go, I'm not sure what that is. I'm not sure what to do there. We're going to make sure you know what to do there. Now, just look right here. Right? Look at the risk reward here. Right? So if you're saying, okay, I want 3 to 1 as a minimum, because I know if I do that over time, well, there's 15 to 1. How many of those do you have to get to take care of all the times you're going to get stopped out here? That's the whole point. That's why risk reward way more important than your win rate. Forget the win rate. How much are you making when you're right? How much are you losing when you're wrong? If there's a secret to trading, that's it. It's not all of this, right? This, you're either drawn to this or you hate it. It's way too hard for some people. For most people, way too hard. Oh, fuck. I don't have time to do that. But if you do, and you want to be a craftsman and you want to be able to trade with precision and get into things where I can go, hey, well, pardon me, it's 12.5 to 1, not 15 to 1. If I want that, and nothing, right, if nothing says it stops here, right? Odds are it wouldn't stop there. If it's a 3, now I got 23 to 1. What would be the first thing here, even on the 15-minute? First thing I'm doing. Now it's a little skinny here, but I want to see that. What do I have here? I have 80% odds. I get that right up on that. I got look at already the little reaction there. Well, it's just reacting off of that. Yeah, it is. That's right. It is, right? Support and resistance. Just the fact that it's happening without. This is why I say to you, the one we were just looking at before. I don't want to take it down here. I want this. I want to tuck in behind that algorithm because I know where he's going. if he can get what, now of course, don't forget, there's always an algo at every degree on the other side. First thing he's got to do is clear this fucker who's sitting there wants to take it down here. Can't get these today. He's looking for that. Now, would that kill the Elliott count? No. You might be thinking, oh, A, B, I got an ABC. Do I want to take this here? Well, maybe. Right now, this is how you talk yourself into it. I'm just back at the support. Went a little deeper than I thought, but I'm right back here. Okay, so I got a 3. Do I want to take this? I don't. I want this with a stop there. Just like I want this with a stop here. Well, you don't even have to go that far, right? If you want to be, if you're trading with leverage, you don't have to take it down to the low. Take it to what's appropriate for you. Have a risk tolerance built into your trade. I don't take that much. And based on my size, that's going to be too much impact to my account. And I never take a trade that can hurt my account badly, right? Jab, right? Boxing. You get in the ring, you're going to get hit. You're going to get hit. You're not going to knock everybody out. The little retrace. What's in your trading plan? You have a trading plan, right? Right? Hey, James, I think right here, I think you could take that long there right now, right? Because I know you trade this probably on multiple levels here. There's a nice little day trade in there or a little swing trade. Too soon just to know which way that goes, right? Certainly could why. But this, man, I've started buying pieces of this based on the work that he's got in here. This is a really interesting project. So one, to do a little due diligence on what they're all about. And then here, points here. This is still one of the better kept secrets in crypto, right? Certainly amongst the masses, right? Masses graph. What the fuck are you talking about? Graph paper? The masses of asses, you've never heard of it. Don't even know what it is, what they do, anything about it, right? That's why this is such a great time to be a crypto trader, right? All the mass market, they graph what? All right, let me keep going. I go too long here. All right, so let me. I'm going to do one more from James. Because he posted a lot here, but let me do link.
We've got 2 donations, so
sure.
Let's work on those.
Yeah, got it. Okay, bear with me a second.
Sure.
You're out that damn Nest thermostat. I turn it to 70 and then I go back and look at it. It's at 75. I don't get it.
I've got one too, so I could help you.
I can't get it to stay at the temperature. That's why I keep getting up going, I'm so fucking hot in here. I just set the thing to 70. I'm hot again. Okay, what are we looking at? That was nice enough to give us.
Storm X. So STM X USDT. I don't know. STM. Yeah.
Okay, so first, anytime you bring up a new asset, don't start on the 15-minute, right? Get out to the daily. So, okay, what's going on here? All right, we got a pretty good range here. So, well, see, right off the bat, I'd pop it into log just so I could see it a little better. Certainly, right? I mean, this is the conundrum we all deal with, log or no log. I don't have an easy answer, but I can. Here's just right off the bat. Okay, well, boy, let's check the support. Resistance becomes the support. So that right, no Elliott wave required here. If you were looking at this, I mean, you could have been sitting right here and say, oh, maybe it'll bounce here, right? So it could be, right? That doesn't happen. So do we have a new low there? All right, this is the other thing when it's really tight down here, going to a log scale, right? So you might have been thinking 1, 2. It's not there, right? This is the absolute low. So what do you do with it? What do you do with this, right? I just do whatever it is. This is our absolute low. So it almost doesn't matter what it is. This is what matters. Okay, here's my new hard low. And that's why I always will wick these up, because if I take it out of log, I want to be able to grab that. So if I'm over here, I can always go back to the low and just, I don't have to dig back to that fucker. Okay, so that's a pretty big retracement. So I kind of look at that and say, okay, well, this seems pretty straightforward. I mean, that's not hard to identify the 5. Now put it in log scale, right? Well, again, we have the range. All right, well, what ABC? Okay, so Right? We trend in fives, we correct in threes. Trend in fives, correct in threes. So this looks a little bit more complex. So just looking at that, okay, so right off the bat, just at first glance, like wouldn't you see this? Wouldn't this just be what you saw? Now, I don't even know what this is. It doesn't matter to me. They all trade the same way. Okay, so now I've got a completed impulse here. So I've got a candidate for off of the hard low. I got nothing else to call it. What can I call it? I'll call that. Must be Monday. All right, I'm going to call that a 1 and that a 2. Now, where are we here? Okay, well, slow down a sec. Okay, so let me get this all fleshed out. Okay, so I've got a candidate right here for a 1, but I got a 5 coming down. Now, you could look at that and say, well, okay, so I see a couple of possibilities. One is that I've got a 5 coming down where I say, well, it can't be the 2. Not counted that way. Is there another way I could count this? It looks like there is. Okay, let's go to the 8. This is the easier part. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So I've got a nice impulse that completes here. So this just it's like a landmark. Okay, I know where I am. I'm coming off of the absolute low, and I get a 5. Now this can't, as it's currently labeled, can't be the 2, right? Unless you put a 2 there, right? But you're not applying Elliott Wave. So what else could I do here? Could I do a WXYXZ? Maybe. Well, I can tell you this. If this turns into another 5, you're going to be back here going, okay, A, B, C, W, X, A. Here's how I would. Let me finish fleshing the thing out. My brain is going too fast here. Okay, right. So let's look here now, because you can certainly look at this and go, hey. Coming. Well, just force a habit. This is a good thing to always do. All right, wick off your 1s. Oh. Right, so it can't be an impulse. Could be a diagonal. All right, so if this is going to go up here, so do you want to trade this? Well, there's a couple things here. So I would start to things that would help you identify that it's a diagonal. In the diagonal, we're always looking for the 4. The highest probability location for the 4, because we're having deeper swings as the market here now after this downtrend here is trying to change the trend, which is why you get diagonals here early in the new trend or at the end of a trend. It's more volatility rather than this where it's just rip game on. Well, this sure looks like a 5. So obviously the other possibility here is that the 2 is not done. But this is an easy one, really. So this could be you got 3 here, and this could be 1, 2 before we go 3, 4, 5. Now I got my 3. But you don't know, right? So if you're bullish on this, which I'm going to assume that you are, which is why you're asking here, and most of the time, right? Where's all the money going to be made, right? Long term, certainly. Right? All the blue skies above. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can I get this done here? Well, you're right in between to where you can't confirm one or the other, right? So maybe let's see here. If the 50 holds and this keeps going, all right, that would give you a little bit more confidence. Hey, I'm going to get the diagonal. It's kind of a bummer that overlap, but now look at it. Now, I literally just thought and said, oh God, that actually looks like it's a golden zone. So there it is, right? So we've done, how many have we done so far? There's a golden zone in every one of them. That looks technical as well. There's a 50. Look, yeah, I can't make it up, guys. I can't do it. No possible way for me to show this 10,000 times and not have you guys go, hey, I better pay attention to that. I better pay attention to that. I better pay attention to that. I mean, this is the easiest trade there is. Now, I don't want you to misunderstand that means that we're going up to that target, because right? So always, right? What's the first thing that has to clear? This is why you can't, right? Do you see? Oh, did we get through? Here, let's zoom in there. If it broke, all the better. Right now you can lean in a little bit more. Yep, we did break. Well, let's make sure I got that right on the pivot. Yep, that's tight. Okay, so now that's not the break you really want here. So it really, you could look at this and you say, okay, so let's say you don't even know about this, right? So you're just working off of prior support became the resistance. So you can't at this point eliminate that this isn't an A, B. Pull it back here. That this isn't A, right? I got 5 down, right? Could be an A. B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going down. But my guess is here you're looking for the bull case, right? If you're not, let me know here, because the bear case is just as easy. I got 5 down here, but I could work this. Here, because I'm going to assume you want this to be a 5. Right? I don't know that, but pardon me. I want to do this as ABCs. All right, so let's give you. So there's one possibility that this is a 5. It looks to me like I could go WX. Oh shit, grabbed the wrong one. I need this one. Okay, so I can go ABC into a W, ABC into an X. Oh, let's see. I could go A triangle B, so I could go Y. Well, that's possible. Right? So it could be right there. So actually, let me do it that way. So because do you see the triangle could be right here? So we could go WX. Oh shit! Hang on a second. WXYXZ. That's what I want. I do want the other one. Jesus, must be Monday. Okay, WXYXZ. That's what I was trying to get to. Okay, ABC. Oh, it's a little squishy in here. Well, maybe I do want the XY, right? So that's one other possibility here. We do it this way. All right, so I go A. Here, let me finish it out. So we go A, B, C, D. Now that's a little fucker right there. You'd have to do it that way. Into the Y, right? See, if this rolls over, now you're thinking WXY. This is a little dicey. I'd have to do it like this. It's a little short, right? So you'd rather have that hold here. But candidate, right? So you're just going sideways. You're not progressing the trend. So the candidate here then would come down for the C. It's a little skinny. Would I trade that? Yeah, I would. Okay, so let's look at this. Now we're on an 8 hour. Let's go to a 2. Do I have an impulse here? Well, this sure looks like a 3. It looks like the same thing here. It looks like another triangle. It looks like A, B, C, D, E. So triangle here. So A, B, C into the 4 is what that looks like. Now let's get in there. I got a little deeper. Let's go to the 30. See how that looks. Or 45 will do. Okay, so here's another example. Right, I want to get that low. So I got to call that something. I can't go, well, that's annoying, right? I got to call it something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 looks like it, ABC. That 2 is a lot bigger than the 4, but you're kind of stuck with it. 3, 4, 5, ABC into the 2, shallow. Just again, a good habit. Wick off your 1s so you don't miss something. ABC2, right? That's not relevant, really, but make the case, right? Resistance becomes support. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, that's a big 5. I actually might be thinking 1, 2, 1. Let's just put these up here. 1, 2. Yeah, that's a bit of a fucker. 3. All right, let's go with that for the time being. I think we've got a secondary. Okay, so same process. Wick that off. If you want to be fancy, put it in the same color so you know what it's relating to. 1, 2. Looks like you got to go 1, 2. Well, you could do it, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That gives you your of your 5th here. Now this could be it looks like a 5, doesn't it? So this is all wick here. This looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to go with this as the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's kind of a completed impulse. Not much of a retracement there. So then I would, right? It's just the same process every time. So I'm going to use that as the 3 because this just looks like somebody bought at the market. Something funky happened here. Lo and behold. from the 2 to the 3. Even if you did this one, right? Because remember, the algo doesn't care about an Elliott count, right? We're not saying, oh, they're truncated, but they're just going to use dominant to dominant, right? There's not a guy saying, well, I think that's more likely a 3 over here, right? It's just software. What's the dominant? What's the highest high? Boom. So the fact that we don't overlap the 1 here, encouraging, right? So it's not a great ABC, because you don't have much of a B, but the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here looks pretty solid. But that's, market's not always, Elliott's not going to be perfect, right? Don't expect it to be perfect. Can I get the 5 in here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, it looks like you could do that as the 5 here. So I would take this, but I'd be real tight on that stop, because it could be too many things there. This could be a 5 down. So this could be just your A, which kind of brings you back to, wait a minute, this could all be part of a bigger correction. So you'd have to be kind of taking little chip shots at this, my view, because it's a little bit iffy on where it could be. The other, if you wanted to be more conservative, let that complete. Now, if that completes, maybe you got your 3 here, right? Remember, you were going, let's see, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So potentially you've got a 1, 2, 1, 2, which gets more and more bullish, coming off of this as your low here. So A, B, C, D. Can we do that? A, B, C, D, E. Yeah, you can get it done. So you got a candidate here, but it's not the greatest setup I've ever seen, but you can take it with such little risk. So if you're chomping at the bit to get into this, I'd probably start right here, because your risk is going to be so low. So I might use the 1, right? So if it's going to take out this pivot here, if you agree that that's a good candidate for the 1, 2. You could even, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You could even do it this way. If I simplify, let's simplify if we can. Let's just go 1, 2, 3, 4, extension in the 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. As long as I don't overlap that 1. All right, if it turns into a 1, 2, 1, 2, all the better. You're back here. If this thing keeps going, you're back here at this low going, God damn, that looks like that was a 1, 2, 1, 2. But that's a high class problem, right? If it's still going and you're back here going, what was that count? Again, high class problem. So I think that's very tradable. What are you getting? There's 7 to 1. But there's no reason to do this. Say, I'm gonna give that plenty of room. Because it's iffy, or it's because it could be those 2 different things. And you could be here a month from now saying, look at how perfect that correction was. At this moment in time, I like that here because you can get a 10 to 1 there. Now, if that completes, again, high class problem. Now your question is, well, do I want to stick around for what is likely to be a retracement before I go to the big 3? That's just how I would think it through. Am I willing to give back potentially 2/3 of it? You can kind of see how that would play out, right? We're coming back into all this structure here. All right, that's kind of why you wick off your 1s, right? Because that was clearly a resistance point, support point. We're coming back to that. Well, we don't have this yet. So my thought here is, if you like it and you want to be, or you're in it already, you could add here because your risk is so low. You might get it. If you get stopped out, oh man, you barely touched me here. So I wouldn't lever it up, put a lot of risk on it. But if I get this and then I get a decent correction, well, of course, the correction here would be back to this. If you got that, now you're back here going, what do I like it right here? That's the more conservative way. Make the market prove that you've got a 5 coming out of here. Make it prove it to you. Okay, I got a 5, right? We could do this, right? So you're potentially giving it room to run, which is why I think you could take that. Right now, it's holding that impulse. So that would be my thinking. But the big trade, if you wanted to be a little more conservative, right? Again, we don't have this, but I'm just going to use this as an example. Well, then you get a golden corner. All right, now you're looking for that. Now you're off to the races. Let's go back to that 2-hour. You're just trying to put that bummer, right? Because that would have been a beautiful impulse, right? But that's what keeps you thinking, oh shit, that could be an ABC. Could be, right? This would have been better had it not overlapped that. But if you're in it, and usually if people are asking for a count when they're watching here, it's usually because they're in it. I don't know that you are, but if that's the case here, this is potentially a place to add. I wouldn't add heavy here. Right here. I wouldn't add heavy here. But if I get this and then I got that, then I'd be aggressive here. You can kind of just pull all of that over. Say that was a key level to the market. Shit, come here. Right, pretty important area for even if you just fatten it up for the market. We got through it, came back to retest it, right? So here's the classic retest. Is more supply going to come in here? Yeah, it did, right? And it blew up the impulse, which is a shame. But ABC down here, 1, 2, yeah, I like it. That I would take. So your choice is how aggressive you want to be there, right? We all want to hit the big one. You could be. Look at the amount of money we're talking about. Again, based on your size, right? This is a really, really small amount of risk relative to where that could go. Because, okay, put the whole thing together. Where are you trying to get with that? If this is going to hold as the 2, and this while it kind of looks like a 5, you can get a count here that works. If that's going to be the 1, 2, and you're going to go here, well, this isn't going to be the 3. That's going to be the 1 of the 3. So you're talking about if that's 1, 2. 1, 2, right? You go up to a 6, 1, 8. Now you're getting the big runner here, and you're dabbling down here. Just trying to get a little piece with a. What do you think the risk reward here? If that's golden zone holds to that, it'd be like 100 to 1. All right. So, then from 2, 4. Oh, you're good here. So you took a little, so you got in right after that bounced. Oh, so nice trade, right? So it's a shame that broke that, but that's not much of a break. So, a purist, no go, right? It can't be an impulse, but you could certainly get a diag here. Now, if this is going to be a true diag, then you're watching that 5 is longer than 3. So if that's the case, and that would play just right, because this would be the 1, so you could have a leading diag here of the 3. So you're in a good spot if you're long from 2, 4, and you could probably, I don't know if I would be at break even, but I would be under that pivot. Because if it rolls over, now you're back to thinking, oh shit, 5, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to get a deeper retracement, because that's still very much could be the count here, right? If we're again a month from now, you'd be back here looking, oh well, look at this perfect 5, 3, 5. You don't know, right? It's the bitch of it, right? I wish again, if we knew, we'd be just printing money. Good one, very good one, tricky one, right? No easy answer there, but I'd sure rather be long than short here. All right, we got another one?
Yeah, Sushi USDT on Binance.
All right, always, right? Start at the daily. I don't need to be a log necessarily. Well, yeah, I guess I do. Okay. Sushi, right? Everybody wants a piece of this. I got a little piece of it, not a huge amount. All right, so we're just looking at these. Well, those are kind of fuckers, right? So that's the liquidation wicks, liquidation wick. So sometimes, right, and again, you'll see Money Crypto does this a lot as well. What do I really have here? I can get a 5. I can get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. I can get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So let's just use that and see if that fits. Okay, 1, 2. That looks like 3, 4. That looks like that's not done. Now, I know you have those spike wicks in there. I don't know why I have this. Oh, this must be somebody else's. Oh, shit. Here, hang on a second. Let me go. Here, let me go. Oh, fuck it. Here, we'll just stay with this. I was trying to get my template because there won't be anything underneath this. Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right, let's put these back on. Well, all right, so you're dealing with these, which... this is pervasive in crypto, right? These liquidation wicks. So the correction here gets exaggerated. Same thing here. So I wouldn't shy away from even if you're using the wicks, you still could go 1, 2. And just out of curiosity here. So I would, this is exactly what I do here is show you guys exactly what I would do. Well, okay, if that's 1, 2, that's a candidate here, right? We didn't quite make the 2, 6, 1, 8, but I would do it twice. I'd want to look there, but then I would say, can I make the internal work as well? So this looks like that would be 1, 2, even if you use that, although that's going to distort your numbers a little bit because it's so far. If you're using that as I'll be damned. Look at that. So you could go 1, 2. Now, high probability zone for the 3. Might as well, just if you're starting out, well, okay, I'll plan it there. Maybe I have to go back and change that, but it looks like I could do that. Oh, come here. Oh, let's go micro, put it in white. Okay. 1, 2, 1, Still valid, right? And I got a 1618 to the damn near to the tick for my 3. Okay, possible. A, B, C for the 4. All right. So I don't even know what I've got here. What have I got there? A 12 and a 12 and a 21. This must be James, his template. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B. That's just as much of a fucker here, but it's just what the market does. Liquidation. So prior down a degree, prior 3, 4, right? Great. Very literally right of the Elliott Wave principle. Look for the prior 1 degree down for the 3, 4, comes right to it. So we're coming right into structure. Right? Of course, we were not to the tick here, but again, that's a liquidation wick. So this looks like that's your low. All right, same thing, right? Every time, same thing. Where are we looking? If it's 1, 2, 3, 4, where are we looking for the 4? Right, ideally between the 23 and 38. Now I am in log scale. All right, take note here. All right, if I take it out of log scale, different story. In log scale, I would keep, since we're looking at the range, we've gone from under $1 to $24. So 24 to 1, right? So certainly the range is there for log scale. So once I'm in that, looks like I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I could go 1, A, B, C, 2, 3. That looks like a truncated, or pardon me, like an expanded B. 4, 5. So this looks like, God, that's a little fucker. So looks like you have to go W, X, Y into that 4. Right, just you're going to see me do this over and over because I want to build that habit for you guys to do the same thing. Always wick off your 1. Okay, did we cross it? Yeah, we did. So, well, either you have to truncate it. No, it doesn't work. Well, let's measure it. Right, how much do we like that as the 3? Pretty close, right? Here's our target zone. I can live with that. Looks like this is WXY. So because of the overlap, would make sense. We get a diagonal here. Now it's more common to have a contracting, right? So where the 5 is shorter than 3, 3 shorter than 1, but nothing says that has to be the 5 there. That could be the 1 of the 5, right? You can get an extension here, but just for scale, that seems likely you're heading towards the 5 here. We use the algo target. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a little sloppy in here. So is there a trade there? Let's go down to 2 hour. Here, I'm going from 16 to 8. So I'm going to come out of log here. I'm going to take this off because what I'm trying to get to is this. So I don't have that same 24 times the range. So that looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C have to be W. Look there. A, B, C. We might actually. So then you'd have to work this as a diag that's completed. We might be able to do it. Here, come here, you fucker. Or, where's that 5? I find myself doing this often. Come here, give me the wave. Where'd you go? All right, you're way up there. Okay, there you are. Should we do that? I think we might. So this is the 4. Oh, come off here. I don't want the wave. Okay. Yeah, that works. All right, same kind of thing, but you'd have to change it into a diagonal. So at that moment, sitting right here, if this is the 5 of the 3 and this is your 4, that's not likely the 5. So it looks like you're starting into the 5 now. So this would be going up here. So you'd now be looking at it this way. Okay, I got to start on my 1. That's not a great looking 2, but that's your low. So I would just plan it here until I'm forced to move it. And now I'm still on a 2 hour here. Fuck. Let's go to a 4. Okay, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, so we see a little bit better here. Okay, that's 1. How are we looking on the 2? That's my low. Lose the algo. but it doesn't kill the idea of this as a 2, although that's not much of a 3. Kind of looks like A, again, maybe a triangle B. So I don't love that. I think that's a roll of the dice right there. Well, the trend of the trend, right? So if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, again, here I'd go to log scale. If it's 1, 2, 3, 4, you could have the 1 in here. 1, 2, right? So here's where we get the golden zone here. So you've got a golden corner.
His comment when he donated was, I'm thinking it's in need of a C wave down to 6.6.
Okay. 6.6. Let's just wick that off. That's close enough. C wave. That'll be close enough. So here, let me find that. Okay, so if he's thinking that it's in need of a C wave, then my guess is he's thinking that we completed up here, and he's maybe not in log scale. Because with this, what do you do with that, right? So this is I think you have to do it in log. 1, 2, 3, 4, because that was a 38 per log. So this looks to me like 1, 2. Well, that's not a great start. So if that's 1, 2, so I would be a little hesitant about that too. So maybe it comes back down here. So this could be A, B. Well, maybe you are in log. Right? It could be that, and that's why you're getting 6, this deeper level here. So we could go to platinum here. We go. There's your 887 between your 887 and the 786. Now you're still kind of in the pocket here of that structure. So your thought would be A, working on B, coming into the C down here. I don't dislike that at all. This is just kind of you're kind of stuck with it. So there's some sort of volatility. That's news driven. Something unusual happened here. God, I suppose the other possibility here is that this is a truncated fifth, and you got the fifth here, and you're working on the 2. For whoever posted this up, are you working on the premise that we completed up here and the double top is in, and that this is the 2, or are you approaching? So when you say I'm waiting for a C at 660, is it based off of that you're looking at this as a completed impulse and now we're working through the correction? Well, even still, even if you thought that, I don't think that works, right? If you put the 5 up here and we want A, B, C, you've got a diag here that's starting out. So either way, the trend right now, because that's a 5, you're kind of stuck with the ABC. So if you think that's coming down, then that's what you're basing it off of. That we're working through the B. This could be a triangle too. You could have a little triangle going in here for that B right there. So this could be in the works, right? And then coming down to that level actually makes sense, right? So you're getting a deep one, which is not ideal, but it would work. You wouldn't kill the Elliott count. So it is, right? So that's fuckery. This is right. So that's, I try and avoid just going, fuck, I don't know what it is. Fuckery, right? So I'm trying to get through every pivot of it. This 5 looks pretty solid. This is just waiting or something. If you end up with that, and if you get this down here where you're looking at it, I think you could take that just comfortably because the risk is so low. Now that's assuming you're not levering up a huge amount here, because now you're coming down here. You would certainly want to put your stop somewhere down here to give that little room. The safer thing, of course, right? You're always going to hear me say this is to wait for see what kind of reaction do you get there? Because now if you get a good reaction here, then you can lean into that as the 2. Just a deeper little fuckery in the B, which where you get them in the Bs or the X's, where you're not progressing the trend, even the 4s, right? Because that looks like you can get a good 5 here, working on the triangle B, unless you never know. I mean, this could just rocket out of here. Well, then you'd be back here thinking, okay, well, maybe this is some sort of a weird diagonal that's going in and I'm just getting started on it. Either way, there will be room to run with this. You won't have to chase it. But I do think you got to stick with that as the 5 coming off of or the 4. This I don't like. You never want to truncate unless there's no other option. You go there last, but that actually could work. Just out of curiosity, if I go to line, it's just this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See that? That's why I was thinking maybe it was over here. If that's the case, then and the 5 is going to be up here, then you're still working on the 5. So either way you look at it, it's bullish until this pivot gets taken out. You want to be on the bull side here. Well, of course, right? We always want to see if we can, right? Get on the right side of it. Corrections, sideways fuckery. If you get down, I think that would be a gift if you got that. If it comes down there, if it hesitates here, even a little break of that low, I'd start maybe laddering. Have much risk, so maybe I'd take 30% here. I get 30 at the 887. If I get that reaction, I might save a little in the chamber for that. So if on the first little retrace, if I could get that, I want to add here. Now it stops under here, so I'd have one stop under here, the rest of the stops under here because I'm trying to get into the 3. Right now, if you got that, where are you? If it's 1, 2, 3, that's not going to be the. Right, if it's 1, 2, if you got 5 here, that's not going to be the 3. That's going to be the 1 of course, being sushi, there's monster upside here. But I think that's where you are. I'd lean into this 5. This just, you got to put a question mark up there because that could be the 5. Again, you only go there if you're forced to based off what's happening over here. So that's hopefully that gives you a little help there. 60, if you got that C, that's a gift, right? Then you take it comfortably, right? You have very, very low risk. So your risk is this pivot, maybe as here, and then wait for the reaction and take the first retrace. Now you're gone. Now you're good. All right. I hope that gave you something to say. That's a tough one, right? It's tricky, right? You got multiple combinations here and you got these fuckery wicks. All right. Hopefully that helps. Thanks for the contribution there. I whenever people donate here, I try and give you as much time as I can. Should I keep moving here? What do I got next? I got link. How are we doing on time? 1. All right, I'll circle back because we got a lot under. So let me go to Trotter here, and because I definitely am interested in that ETH Bitcoin because that's one he and I are both in. Circle back as we have time. We could go a little bit longer if need be. All right, what do I got here? Trotter is giving me FTX. Badger. I think Trotter gave this to me last week and we had some sort of technical, or I looked at the chart didn't come up. So I don't think we've had a good look at this. I know he's wanted to. Okay, swing, right? So just a big V that comes down to our low, but this maintains as our lowest low. It's good work, Trotter. A, B, C into the B here. C. So W, A, B, C, X, A, B, C, Y. I'll push that down a little bit. Let's go with big letters. That's nothing wrong with that. I'm going to just take that down a degree or 7. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I get a 1 here, right? So that's, I know Trotter knows to do that. 2, let's see. Oh, so this is unlabeled here. So this would be your 1, your 2. So, okay, so you just haven't labeled it. I got you. All right, so 1, 2 is going in. This 3, 4, 5, let's take that up. We'll go minuet. Okay, so we're just going to put that there since we got to label it. Oh, here, we'll go with green. 1, 2. I'm on a 3-hour. God damn, you like these big numbers. Okay, so WX micro. Okay, ABCW, ABCX. God, those are big too. Let's go micro. ABCY. So there's your candidate for the 2. So swing, retrace. So here we got, so do you see this? Well, I just do that so you can see a little better because his isn't as bright. Okay, highest time frame, 3rd in play. We break this 3rd high, very likely in play. All right, so I got to zoom in there because I can't see with those number sizes. All right, so, oh, Jesus. Trotter, what is with the giant numbers? Makes me think you need reading glasses. Okay, so there's one. Let's go sub. Okay, this, oh God, I can't even see in there. A, B, C, that works into the 5. So here's the 1. This is just so I can make sense of it. Let's go sub-micro or blue. All right, so there's your B. 1, 2, oh, Jesus. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's close, man. Did that fly? Did that make it? Looks like it did. Yep, just barely. These are, I always just do this whenever they're close. Okay, so 1, A, B, C into the 2, A, B, C. You probably have to get down to the 15 to really get that. And bear with me here. Okay. So here's your hard low right here. All I'm trying to do is figure out where the key pivots are. Okay, so this becomes the B. So this is me, but for me, if everything's in the same color, it's hard for me to know what degree we're talking about. So I go down and I always alternate the colors. It's just, could be just my own here. So A, B, C. So I'm finished. So I've got this candidate here. Let's go to a minuet here. So I've got, here's the A, the B, 1, 2, 3, 4. Boy, that's ugly, but it works. There's the C, A, B, C. So we're starting into a diag. That looks like it. Geez, I'm on a 15. This is still tricky. A, B, C. All right. So that's, where's your 1? Where's the 1 on that? Where's this 1? Well, if I can't find it, I got to do this. Okay. So that's your biggest 2. Well, it can't be there. So it'd have to be here. So maybe it's because I shrunk it down so much. So this would be your big 2. So let's go to something I can see. All right. So here's the pivot that he's working from. Whew, man, it's good. It's good work. It's such huge numbers. Okay. So we're working off of this as, Jesus, what are you doing here? So I think it looks like you're trying to work from this. So you, A, B, C, W, X, Y. So this is a little unsure. I'm a little unsure what you're thinking there, unless you're thinking that's a truncation. All right, so let's work from where it starts to get, where we get an impulse. All right, let's take this settings, get you off of there. Oh, fuck. I don't want that. I'm not sure what you're doing here, because that would be ABC into a WXY. So unless you're thinking diagonal, I'm unsure where you are here, because there's a degree that's not labeled here. I move this over, unless you're thinking that is a truncation here and that the 2 is here. I'm not sure. Okay, so let's start from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we've got our 1, A, B, C into a 2. Now, I would pull, right, just because an algo is going to use the lowest, right? So we've got good clear breaks of the golden zone here. So it doesn't kill it as a 2. We don't have an algo at our back here. Certainly it worked. Now there's 1. You're putting the 2 here. So it helps me know if you fill that in. So are you thinking A, B, C? So we've got a running flat? Sure. Looks like that's what you're thinking. Okay. So 1, A, B, C into the 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's the 3 relative to this 1. I'm not sure what low you're using, but I'm going to use the lowest low. Oh, that's not what I want. I want this one. 1, 2. That's a pretty good rip, right? So 1, 2. Well, we're past the 3, 2, 7. All right. So there's I might do it that way just to check it. No, I don't need to. 3, 4. Boy, this is a little badger. 3. Let's get you down. 5. Put that in yellow. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I get the impulse off of this area at this point, I can't quite tell, but I'm just going to say there's the base we started from. There's the second half of this, and this one, I want this wave off. Okay, so there's the 4. Actually, it looks like that. This goes down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 3. All right, so I'm with you now. It's taking me a minute to kind of follow along here. All right, so this is what you're doing. You're going 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we're seeking 5 up here. So, oops. So again, I'm going to shrink these down a little bit. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're putting waves in. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, so you're thinking it's 1, 2, 1, 2, very bullish. So you're looking for a much bigger 5 up here. Why? Coming off of this, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, why not the 5 here? I'm kind of curious. Well, maybe that is what you're thinking. Let's go to blue. Okay, so if this completes, we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm assuming that's... Okay, let's go down here. It's another thing. You don't have your... so I can't see. Okay, so here's where it starts. 3, 4. Okay, so we got a golden zone 4. You could probably... Let's see if you could finish that. Yeah, you could. So one thought is, because it's gone to a golden zone, that's a deep 4, but you did get just a really ripping. So you can stay with that. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. If it possibility here is that you completed, and this is a 2, but again, that's a high class problem. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not sure I'm with you on this. 1, 2, 1, 2. I think you're assuming too much there. I'm gonna pull that out. I think you got 1, 2 here. 3, 4. Working on this 5. I don't know where your 5 is. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, see, I wouldn't assume 1, 2, 1, 2. Well, 1, that sideways fuckery sure looks like a 4. And if it keeps going here, then you'd come back here and think, oh, 1, 2, 1, 2. But that sure looks like a 4. So I'd think 1, 2, 3, 4. You're approaching the 5 up here. You've got a median line here. I see that you're after. So let me go. Oh shit. Let me go back to the hourly. 1, 2. We're just trying to get into the 1. All right. That's a tough way to get there. Okay, so if we don't get there on this, okay, I see what you're doing. Okay, so you're going 3 golden zone, and we're looking for that target to get us up there for that 5. All right, off of the idea we get to the median line off of this corner. So we get a corner pocket here looking for the median line. Okay, now I understand why you did that as the 3, because it looked like you could finish it. So 1, 2, well, you'd have another golden corner here, but that's right. You don't need to worry about that yet. Again, high class problem. So 1, 2, 3, 4, working on that 5. It looks like you're just offering some alternates. If this comes down, if we finish here, so failure to make the median line, you'd have to be a little cautious there. This would be your next entry. So if you got the 5 here, you'd be mindful of the fact that failure to make the median line, right? Trading principle number 4, move equal to or greater than the swing that failed to get there. But that's you don't go there until you start to break down here. Now your target becomes here. But right here, I see what you're doing. So if you complete here and you don't get the median line, and don't assume you're not going to get it until it rolls over. But you can look at that and say, oh, okay, well, I might run the stops up. Might run the stops up here. Like that. All right, that could give you the fuel to get there. If you did get there, right now, are you going to get the algo target? You're coming from a golden zone, so odds are you would. So depending on whether it gets straight or you have a little drift to get there. Well, if you get that, well, you know right where you are now. So you've gotten 1, 2, and you just got your 1. Now this would be here, and this would be here. Oh, there it is. All right. So I finally got there. Okay. All of that, we're going 1, 2, 1. We're looking for the 2. So where's the next trade? If we get a retracement back down, yeah, you're right. That's where to load the boat. Highest time frame third is in play. If we break that high, third is likely, and so we just broke that one. I think we get an extension as it would fit with the time scale. Okay, well, that's a tricky one. All of it coming off of this low. So 1, 2. All right, so now I can start to put this together. It takes me a minute if I can't follow what you're doing. So 1, 2, 3 is what you're after here. So this would be the 5 and the 3. So this is just the degree is too big. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, so it could be a big hit there. Just stepping back as well, it would be pretty reasonable to look at this and say, okay, we're building a base down here. All of this is just base building here that preps for the launch. Now let's come out to the 4. Does that make sense? All right. We could even do this. Building a base, right? Cause and effect. So the longer we build this base, which is straight Wyckoff, right? So cause and effect, the longer we build this base, the bigger the upside here. So that actually would be your 3, 4, 5 goes up here. So this has to come down. 1, 2, 3. Right, maybe you get that 2, 6, 1, 8 here. So the median lines here are really important here. So this first one here, if you get that, right, yeah, I'm with you. Then it's trading technically your game on. You get the retrace back to that golden zone. You'd get another. Of course, you'd have another one here if you get it, right? So you'd pull that one, looking for that big 3. So you get a nice little roadmap here, right? So this is good. I know we've looked at this a couple of times. I haven't really been following you on this, but I think you're on the money here. This being the good low, and now we'll see what happens, right? You don't know, but that's a very nice big base to be building from. That looks like, well, that would be your next. Oh, you got another set on there. Oh, I didn't even see this one. It just brightens it up. Oh, but you're going up. You're doing no. I don't know that you would need to modify that, right? If we're looking impulsive, stay with original until you're forced out of it. So it's we got some fat targets up here. So this is what I'd be targeting. The intersection of the 2. At some point, could you get there? That would be a big 5. But I'd kind of eyeball that and say, wow, wouldn't that be so? Then if you potentially had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, now again, high class problems. If I'm back here relabeling this, thinking 1, 2, and that's the 3, 4, 5, right? All of this, just building a base. Got something underneath. Well, that might just be part of what's going to cause the next retracement here, that we're this little retracement that we might be in the midst of, and then just getting started. Next impulse. No reason to be anything but, especially based off of those 2 sets of median lines. So nice. It took me a minute to get through that, but well done. Good job, Trotter. Maybe just slightly smaller numbers, because when you do those giant numbers, like, it's very hard for me to follow them. Okay. All right. I'm going too long here. All right. So I know James M is, so he's giving me ETH and Bitcoin. I'm going to circle back to that if I can, because that's one I've been watching as well. Okay. So let me get Frade. I'll be back to you. Algo USDT based on our time. Let me get Zafar in. He's giving me Neo. I'm just going to try and make sure I get to everybody. All right, let's give Neo to the dollar. I think we looked at this last Monday. I don't know if it was from Zafar, but I know we did look at it. All right, let's give that a second to load. Oh, okay, that looks interesting. Let's pull back here a little bit. All right, what are we doing? All right, so here's our COVID low. Nice leading diag. I'm going to take your wave off. Okay, so nice. Look, 3 longer than 1, 5 longer than 3. So beautiful. And a 1. Okay, so you would normally, Zafar, you wouldn't want an impulse in here. Well, the alternative, and actually what I think you have here, let's see, can you get a 1, 2? I think what you have, 5, 3, 5 diag. Right now, some purists don't accept that, but I do. I think you got a 1, 2, could be 3, 4, 5. So you got a 5, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 3, 5. That's what I think you have. So you could, just something for the back of your mind here. That's something that I do think is valid in Elliott, a 5, 3, 5, 3, 5 leading diag here. So either way, it's a nice diag. But you see, I just want you to recognize here that you wouldn't, if you're going to go ABC, 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 right to the 4, then you wouldn't finish with a 5. You'd finish with an ABC. So you're kind of in between the two. So if you're going to stick with it as ABCs, you'd have to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it's there, right? So you can go A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it works. All right. So you'd have to do C up here. It does work as an ABC. Okay. So that would be the 5 of the 1. Let's dig in there. See what you got. That's your triangle. Okay. So we're going to go. So one leg isn't labeled. You go. Shit, what are we doing here? So we have to use that as the triangle. So you're going to have to pull your A, B, C in to get your W here. A, B, C, D, E. I like that. So there's your triangle. All right, good work, right? But you note here, you missed. I am on a daily. No, fuck. All right, so there's an A, B, C in there. But you see, this can't. Can we make that work? This has to be the W here. So because that's the A. You're expanding the B. That's a little iffy there. C, D, E. Okay, we'll go with it, right? So there's your triangle, A, B, C, because if the finish is so clear that you got an A, B, C. So that's the 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 1. All right, here again, this is one more. You're leaving it. And I say this not for my benefit, but for your benefit. Make sure you get all of them labeled. So if that's 1, 2, all right, you're just leaving the degree. So what did you complete there, right? So is that a 1? Okay, well, reasonable. If that's the 2, right, that's not going to be the 3. So that's the 1 of the 3. Let's dig in here. What did you send? I can't remember what. Let's go down to an 8. You sent me a daily. Okay, 1, A, B, C, 2, good. 1, 2, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3. All right, these just kind of, I always think they're in the way. Oh, fuck. Is that? Oh, you just drew that. Okay. So 1, 2. All right. I see. You're doing what I do. Okay. I do this just to kind of help demonstrate. Okay. There is a 5 in here. It looks like you got to truncate that low. A, B, C into the 2, 3, 4, 5. So we finished a 5 down here. Now there you've got it going back and forth. Okay. So now I've got an A that's completed, an A, B, C into a B. Looks like that's technical. So what are we doing here? A, B, we're looking for, so the next leg that you're looking for is coming down into that C where you've got a golden zone. Okay, now it comes together. All right, so 1, we're seeking the 2 here. But now I like it. Okay, 1, A, B, C. Well, so you're making the assumption, so this is always the risk, right, that there's something, this is an A, B, C. I'm going to just pull some of this out here so I can see it a little bit better. Get out of there. Okay, so 1. Oh, there's an alternate here. So this could be your 1, but it wouldn't be as well balanced in terms of time. So I see your thinking, but you can kind of look at that and say, well, that could be an ABC, and now we're into a 1, 2, and off we go. I like the channeling though. So do you see what he's doing here with this channel? Right. That's kind of nice work. So looking for the confluence point down here with all of that geometry. So if we pull back out to that daily running into this trend line here. So it looks like you're using that. I might bring this up. Well, I see what you're saying. Okay. So right now I'd go there, get it on that pivot. Could be because I changed the time frame. 1, A, B, C, W, X, Y into the 2. All right, that works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B. All right, so where's your target? That is your 100%. Okay, so you're going length of the A projected from the B. Here's the... Okay, so you'd be thinking the 618. So here I'm going to have to pull that out. Here, actually, I'm going to do it here just so I can follow along. Okay, so if it's A, B, C, then there's this length of the A projected from the B. All right, so the 618, that's what I was looking for. I couldn't see it in there. So this coming down here to that 618 is going to be in alignment. So this is actually, now that I can follow it, really nice work. So you've got the candidate here. So note we already went to a golden zone, which is kind of why it could be that 1-2's in. Well, how do you know? Well, if this turns into an impulse, you'll know. Otherwise, we're coming down here. You'd prefer to not have it. You'd prefer it double bottom, right? And not lose the buy side algo. Looks like you ran into a 50 there. All right, so you did. So you're in between here. So this algo, get you out of there. This algo will be looking to get here, which would be the 786. So it wouldn't kill the Elliott count. Once it breaks here, though, I would want to see the reaction to confirm. Okay, show me you're going to turn, and I'd take that. Right, low risk, stops right there. All right, if it breaks again, okay, well maybe I've got something more complex going on in this correction. Maybe I get a W, X, Y, Z. You don't know. As long as we hold this pivot, you would remain bullish. So right now you're just kind of patiently waiting. So this is a good one for watch list. Right, let's get that out of there. Watch list down here, but you'd prefer like not lose the buy side off of the 1-2. This is a clean impulse. That certainly could be the 2 here. So I would be kind of watching. So that then it all comes back to what's here. Let's go down to a 1 hour. I know that's a shitload of lines here. Let me get some of that out of here, just so anyone watching can see. Because I'm not Zafar, right? You'll still have these on all of yours. So there's a completed 5. But do you see how this certainly could be? I mean, you got the waterfall here. That looks like this shit almost just exactly like Bitcoin. So do you truncate here? Could be done here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, careful there. That could be done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, so the first test will be if this is going to hold as the pivot here, what happens here? Right? We don't have to have this C here because we 3 here. So this C right here, and this is the 2. Oh, it looks like maybe you have that as an alternate. Not sure. I got maybe a little too fast. And maybe you were thinking that's an alternate, but when I go down to the hourly, there's an impulse there. So that could be. So the B is the alternate here. So I would actually, looking at this, I think that's your primary. Don't assume that 3 is going to roll over again until it does. Right now, you got a little baby a little impulse here, higher highs, higher lows. Right now, you're anticipating the correction. Let that come down. Well, you got a perfect bit of market structure here that you could play off right at the golden zone. Right here, prior support became the resistance. Support became does it come back down, become the resistance again? Boy, wouldn't that be pretty? Now you'd immediately say anytime. Right, hopefully you guys get this by now. Anytime I get a golden zone, the first thing I'm doing is putting meaning lines on it. First thing. Oh, golden zone, golden corner pocket. Why? Because I know I got 80% odds here. And if I can put the stop at the 707. So very little risk, very little. 707, just to the first target. If this is 1-2 and this is 1-2, that's not going to be 3. Right, so you can trade there's 707 will be in between the 65 and the 786. So 6 to 1. Remember, right? Risk reward much more important than win ratio. So if I got that, if I get a 1, 2, 3, and I go up to the upper parallel, always looking for with a set of median lines, you don't want it to stop here. Well, if it stops there, then you're just looking for that to be the 1, 2 of the 3. Right now, you get even more bullish. Right, you're looking for it to blow through the 1618 and maybe go to the 2618, and you're getting that. But every time you get a golden zone, if it's in the context, right, if you can put it in context of the Elliott count, that's a trade you want. Up to the individual, if you want to try and pick the turn. So a lot of times, if I really like it and it's a structure here like this, I'll take a portion here. Again, appetizer. Right, if I get the little pullback and it holds, then now send me my entree. Right, then I want this here. That's where I add. But see, now I'm adding with a little bit of house money, so I get a cushion here. I get just a little bit of a cushion. I still could take a loser here. But if I did that, am I still interested? Yeah, because until this low gets taken out, or it just gets to where it's so far I don't like the trade anymore, to go to the 786. Right, 786 is always bears trying to get to that pivot. If they can't get it, it actually sets the thing up pretty nicely. But the complication is that sell algo coming in here, right? So you got to get through that. That's the pitch of it. All right. Hopefully that helps. Okay. So your work was good. It's just, I think I've seen that before. Be sure to account for every, call it something, right? Get the context there. This could go either way, but your work here, the premise of what you're doing here is really quite good. And this is a difficult count. No question about it. Okay. Let me keep moving. It will be a 6 hour. I chuckled at Monte Crypto. He did a 5-hour live stream last week for members. So that's called really, really teaching and giving a lot. Okay, I got Hibby Boy. What do you think, Monty? DXDY? For some reason, that's been, I'm seeing that in my Twitter feed a lot.
Yeah, but I
think we did that last week. So I'll do AXS first.
Yeah, the DY, whatever it is, that one's fairly new, I think. And so you're not going to have a lot of history to work
fired
off
up about that. Yeah, I think we looked at that and it was kind of gross. The chart was ugly. So let me do Hibby Boy. I'm going to do AXS. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, that looks good. All right, let's clean this up a little bit. So let's get the copy going here. Second. Entry copy. All right, so I got a 4-hour here. So as always, I gotta pull out and say where are we? Oh, lovely. Look at this beautiful channel. Oh, that's nice. Nice, Hibby Boy. So here, I'm gonna hide that because it just gets in the way a little bit. Okay, look how pretty that is. Oh. You wonder, right? Well, why does the geometry work? Well, it's just support and resistance, right? On an angle. That's all it is. That's all. Seeing it, there's the range. We're used to that's all that's happening. That's why it works. So okay. So we're not okay. All right. No Elliott on below. That's okay. I mean, this is all geometry, right? This is not bad. So here is where, okay, maybe some Elliott's starting to come in. So if it's labeled, so I'd have the right context. So I'd probably, that looks like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this looks to me like we're working on 3. Now that may not be long enough. Now we're in log scale. You sent it to me in log, just out of curiosity. Okay, so this 1, 2. Looks like that's a golden corner. It is. Okay. How many is that today? Okay. So, right. So I just like, even though he didn't have it drawn up. So look at God, is that a good looking trade right there? Jesus, look at that. So we get, well, it looks like it's a front run. If I'm often when you draw them, you're a little off. When you zoom in, they get a little off. Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, right. So wouldn't be hard. Hibby, I'm kind of surprised you didn't. Although that's a little funky, right? I could see what you're thinking is, oh, fuck, what is that? You'd have to dig the 1, 2 out of that. Well, that would be the shit. That is a little tricky down there. I think I'm starting to see why you didn't do that. You think he did it online? Like that? Well, there's your classic liquidation wick. So you can't. Here, we'd have to go down in time. We might be able to see it there. God, you have to. I'm looking for this since this is all complete. So this is the wick.
For me. That would be the third of the third, and then you have the fourth, and then you have the fifth. That's in the golden zone right there as the completion.
Yeah. Okay. Even still, right? So, okay, now I'm starting to see it. God, was that there before? Why the hell was I not seeing that? Okay, 1, 2. I would have been surprised he didn't label it. Okay, so 1, 2. So golden corner, right? So here's the golden corner coming right out of it, and that's note, right? It's golden corner. Even though this is a little squishy in terms of what it is, this be at least looking for that. Okay, so what do you absolutely not want to do here? And I promise you, somebody doesn't know to look for the golden zone. Right? That's the only, they just don't know. So somebody sold it there thinking we're going down to take that out, right? Look how weak we are. Oh, we're rolling over again. They're just, that literally is stepping on a landmine. They don't know it's there. They blow up. Okay, so 1, 2. All right, so you can work that as the 2. You don't really have any other choice, right? So then looks like you went, so you completed, this looks like that's your 3, 4. Part of your 3. So that's tricky. Okay, so we're going to go way up to this 3. That's the.
I think he said his
1,
EW
2.
count is on the 4 hour.
Say again?
He said his EW count is on the 4 hour.
Oh, maybe did I?
So if you go to 4 hour, maybe it'll make more sense. I don't know.
Maybe it'll make. Okay, there it is. All right, it's all coming together. Oh yeah, why didn't this show? I don't know why that wasn't showing up when I first let me. I didn't wait long enough. Oh, no, beautiful.
Because
now we got it all.
You can decide which time frame you want it to show up on. So based on going to visibility.
I got it right. So okay. See, I learned something about TradingView every day because I'm still learning TradingView. Okay, now I would have been shocked if Hibby Boy hadn't labeled it, but I thought maybe he was. I'm just going with a geometry lesson. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Oh fuck! Now this is beautiful. All right, so 1, 2. V. What are we doing here? 5 done. Right. So yeah, that's a tricky one. So 1, 2. Boy, that's a kind of a gnarly impulse, isn't it? So it looks like you just got a big extension here. So it looks this would have to be the 1 to. Well, so you'd have to go here so the 3 isn't the shortest so that you'd have a very skinny little 5. Okay, so it works. So the extension of doesn't have to be a perfect symmetry. So you get a big extension in the 1, 2, 3 sideways, 4, 5 gives you the 3. So I'm with you there. We got our 80%, right? We come right out of the chute. I mean, damn near, right? Got it in a hurry. Now we go upper parallel. So look how this set of median lines has contained the market. Now we go sideways into the 4. So it'd be a classic candidate for the 4. Oh, this is good work, man. Good work, Hibby. Okay, so now we go, and so now we get the next one, and he draws it again, right? So this is I just love to see this, right? So everything that we're teaching, this is exactly what he's doing, and here's all of it just laid out for you. I couldn't have done this any better. This is just absolutely beautiful. So 1, 2, 3, 4, where are we? Well, we can't confirm that because there could, as he's noting here, you could have an extension here again. I think that'd be less likely, again, just less likely because of the massive extension we had in the 3. It's not that you don't get them. It's just less likely you get multiple extensions. Now note here this is a big 3 and you had a big extension in the 1 of the 3. So then in turn, get another big extension. I'd be more inclined to think that you're done there. One thing that I'm curious about, which is all we've got is some of these tools to work with. I'm only taking these off just so I can follow along myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, clear 3. All right, things to look for, right? Always look left. We're coming into the prior structure here. We pivot off of all of this. Now we get a little ping here. Now, is that done? Well, sure could be. But, if it's not done, I mean, high class problem, right? So would you shy away from this trade? Definitely not. So do you see what I'm saying? If this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if we're done here, as he noted, right? So you're looking for something to come back to the lower part of the channel. How do you know? Well, you don't know. All right, that's the bitch of it. Oh, what do we got here? Stoke RSI. Okay, so we got pretty hot here. Oh, not helping us much here. I don't know that I would assume anything with regards to the Elliott count, but I would definitely take that trade for the same reason that you take that trade, for the same reason you take that trade, for the same reason you take that trade. If we get into that golden zone, you take that trade. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like that. If I just look at the, come here. This is an awfully good 1, 2. And then it looks like the internal, like that's a little diag here because that's the 4, 5. Looks like that. I'm kind of thinking right. So this, all we can do is just use some of these tendencies to say, okay, well, I got 227 here. So here's the, that's tempting, right? So you're right into the pocket here for the 1618175, but the 2, so but this, you got to deal with this. So it looks like it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I push this all up. So now I'm starting to think that could be right. So what I see here is this. I see 1, 2, 3 working on the 4 before we go up to the 5. And actually, I think that plays better here. Okay, so this would actually all potentially be pushed off a degree off here. And so it's unknown, right? Those are all just kind of floating up there until we know, do we get, where does the correction go? Because if you're right here, you're thinking that's a 4. If we come down to the golden zone, well, then you'd be back here thinking, oh, okay, well, then this is the 3, 4, 5. And we just got to, shit, that would be hard to do it. All right, so every impulse has to have 5 in it. And what do you do with this? That looks like a diagonal, doesn't it, right? All the overlap. You'd have to account for it. So it would have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's why I think that's 1, 2. Well, if I label it. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that has to be your 2. So if I get that going, this would be 1, 2, 3. That's just such a perfect 4. You got to put it somewhere. It's too good not to use it. Nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You get it again for the 3. This is a classic sideways fuckery 4. Get this fucker off. All right. So right now we're coming. Let's get these dialed up. Well, you're kind of in a wait and see here because if this has got another leg to go, then you're trying to complete that 5 here at the upper edge of remember the channel, which kind of framed the whole thing. I can't do it there. Can I pull that back a little bit? Yeah. I'm going to take you up a degree. Okay, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like, it could be the 1, could be the 5, right? So that's the conundrum there. Let me put that in white. What do we get here? What do we finish? All right, so let's think about that. So I would just, since you've got this shitty 1, that's wrong. Ooh, that's interesting. Because I had pulled a couple of things off of there. So note all I did was just take the start of this, which you're kind of stuck with this hideous 1, 2. So the length of the 1, if that's going to hold as the 1 projected from the 4, we'll look at that intersection right there. So this, my guess is that's what what he's thinking here. Although I kind of tweaked the count a little bit, but either way, look how pretty that is. This is not in play yet unless it comes down here. So I'm just going to pull that. I should have just hidden that, but he'll have that as it is. So if that's 3, 4, there's one more leg up here. Ooh, that's tricky. Looks like there's one more. Oh, look at the Vegas wave sitting in there. Look at the Vegas wave all the way up. Right, a little bearish here. And now boy, that would be pretty. One more time up. So this is interesting here. We hit this, but that's for the potential 5th being here, but I don't think the count supports it. I think it looks like there's one more up here. So there's the 4. So we'd be coming in. So if it's not going to be the 100, you just go up in levels of frequency, then 1, 2, 3, 8. This is not uncommon, but that's a pretty big rip. And a reason I think that we're unlikely to go for an extension the 5th is because of the massive 3 we had. Again, doesn't mean it couldn't happen. It's just in terms of playing probabilities of the way these patterns tend to repeat, I'd be inclined to be looking for that 5. So why is that important? Because right, if you're trading off of a higher time frame, right, here's the potential 1, 2 down here, which looks like he's got it marked here. I'm kind of tweaking his count a little bit, but if that completes, if this is the 2, oh shit, I got to go all the way back out. Could that be? Let's get rid of you. If this is 1, 2, could this here, I'm just going to draw that, be the 3? Oh, shit. Well, let's just measure it, see. Well, you kind of need it to. Now, granted, we are in log scale, but 1, 2, you need to get up here to this 213 to give that a good shot at being the 3. So all of that kind of fits in with what we were just saying. Now, again, just because we don't make 100, it's a guideline to start with, because as long as the 3 is not the shortest, you could end up with a shorter 5, but because you had a pretty good length in that 1. And again, since we're log scale, it distorts your eye a little bit. It just makes this look bigger than it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. That looks like a good 5 right there. Now you know you have the candidate for the 3. So 1, 2, 3. Wait and see. This so high class problems, because if this is 1, 2, and you get that far for the 3. Well, there's a couple of thoughts there. You could certainly have this go 1, 2 of a bigger 3, because remember, right here, we're just at 100. So if that's going to go 1, 6, 1, 8, you could have much higher numbers here. All high class problems to have. 1, 2 could be just 1, 2 of a bigger 3. Actually, now that I look at it, I think that's, if we're going to stay in log, remember, if this is the 1, and we're looking for the 3 way up here. So that is the first target you'd have for that 3 would be up here. So this has to be, wow, that could be interesting. So 1, 2 could be the 3, but now you're thinking, boy, this is getting more bullish the more we look at it. If that's 1, 2, as he's implying here, there's a candidate, it would stay right with the channel, then we're looking for a much bigger 3, much bigger. High class problems for a bull. Oh, I thought it was the 3. It turns out to be the 1. Is that's something you want to be saying? Was the 3? Turns out to be the 1. Again, high class problem. Where's the next entry? Well, you're going to have to take that swing by swing, because you could have the 5 in here. So swing by swing. Do I get a 3 here? And how deep does it go? If I get that, oh yeah, right. You got to buy that right into the pocket, and then you draw another set of median lines, and the same thing just carries on, and you don't know which is where you're going to be. Is it 1, 2, 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you're going to get a deeper retracement? I'm starting to think this could be 1, 2, 1, 2. What a lovely problem to have. All right, great work, Hibby boy. For some reason, none of your Elliott came up at first, but now that's good. Okay. I promised GZ 16 I'd do this one, 1968. All right, let me keep moving, or we'll go for 5 hours. Monte Crypto is the only one who can go for 5 hours. Okay, so this is a funky count. Bitcoin Cash. I should probably look at Bitcoin Cash more than I do. I mean, shit, we're sitting, what's our all-time high? We got to $4,000. It just doesn't seem to be in the crypto sphere as prominently as it once was. Let me copy this here. This is good work, George. Okay, hang on. Let's see. So we got, what are we doing here? This looks predominantly like a 3, so it's hard to call this anything but the correction. So we start here. So this is the low that matters. Oh, it doesn't matter. All right. So this is the low that matters. So clearly a 3. Well, let's see. So, you'd have to truncate here, and you don't want to do that unless your market doesn't give you a choice. I was thinking you might have a diag here, but I think I like this count better. So ABC, nice work here to get that A done. So leading diag into the A, gets a little skinny here. Boy, I think this is good work. GZ, this is very nice work. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is good, right? Every wave accounted for, labeled. 1, 2. That's a little tricky. I tell you, George, I would have done it that way. So A, B, C into the 3, A, B, C into the 4. Let's take that back one. Because I would want to use this as the A, the B, and the C. And you've got the A, the B, and the C here. So A, B, C. Oh, yeah, I see what you're thinking here. So you got to go A, B, C because this looks like a 5. So that's a good 4. You can go A, B, C. So that works. Okay, so this is this is tricky, Elliott, no doubt about it. Because you would have thought. I mean, you can see how you might have been sitting here, thinking 1, 2. Off you go. That was in your face. That's COVID low. That's good detail. Okay, 1, 2, 3, sideways 4. Oh, you're kind of stuck with it. A, B. What are you thinking there? Okay, I'm with you here. That could work. Oh, that's a little bit of a fucker. That's just a liquidation wick. That's a sideways fuckery. This has got to come up a degree. I get it for me to figure that out. What are you thinking there? A, B, C into an A. That could be a stretch. All right, let's go with it. Okay, so we'll go A, B, C to an A, B, C. Those are okay. Let's go with it. Let's see where. So ultimately, how does it affect us over on the hard right edge? Okay, A, B, C. So now you got to pull that all the way back out and say, okay, we did 1. Let's take that up a degree. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's. By habit, I just do this reflexively. All right, if it's a diag, I'm looking for the 4 here at the 50. We don't quite get there, but that's not a deal breaker. So bigger structure here. Here's the initial swing. We do it in a 3. Here's the correction. We do it in a 3. Here's the A, B with the big C to give us the 3 up here. This would be skinny in time, right? So the time relationship is not ideal. But it kind of looks like the count was underway here. And then, of course, COVID blew the count up. So you'd have to be conscious of the possibility that you come down here again. I'm going to push this up just a little bit. Okay, so you got so if this is done here and we're in the range of where you'd be looking for it, kind of looking right in here. Okay, so here was the first pivot. Here was tested. Let's go off the daily down to the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That looks good. A, B, C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That looks good. 1. Oh, you're doing a 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, I don't think you need to do that. Well, but it doesn't matter, right? So, okay, so let's go. Here's the A, B, C. So it's okay. That'll work. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so you got your C down here. There's the B of the 4. A little bit of a front run. Okay, let's go to the hourly. And classic double bottoms, double tops, double bottoms, double tops. It's like it's a true double bottom. So there's the B, there's the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a 1, 2. Yeah, you're kind of stuck with that. Okay, so we've got 1, 2. Oh, shoot, that's a little big. 3, 4, 5. Looks like that's what you're stuck with right now, which is, maybe we could do it this way. 1. Get down there. 1, 2. All right, smaller 2. 2. This is kind of what you want to have here. 4, 5. Have that finish. Okay, so this looks, but the reason I started the other way is because this looks more 4-ish than 2-ish, but you don't want that overlap, and you've got that nice structure here, play off of. looks like a WXY, ABC, ABC, ABC. So it looks like you got a WXY into that. That would be shallow for a 2, which also the other reason you might think, and could that be in the 4? But see, then you'd be thinking 1, 2, and you're going to have a shorter 3. So it doesn't work as well. So if you're a bull, you'd prefer to have that be the 1, and now you want that to actually come down a little bit lower. Let's just see if we can get this to work this way. If that's the 5, and then this is the 2, I mean, it's not a deal breaker. I have a shallow 2. It's not that shallow, but you don't want that. So this would have to be 1, 2, 3, 4. This would have to be 1, 2, 1, 2. And that looks more 4-ish or so. I wouldn't go down both. So you'd have to do this as either one. So there's not enough yet to know. You can get that to work. That's not a good enough 3. So where do you need that to get? A little shy. Now, of course, as I just said, you could have an extension of the 1, 3 shorter than 1. As long as 5 is shorter than 3, you're okay with that as an impulse. So you've already overlapped here. So this would have to be 1, 2, 1, 2, since you've overlapped. So that, again, high class problem if you're bullish. Let's label it up. This for me already, I'm in hurry up and wait here. It's too iffy. No need to take something iffy. Too many things to trade. All right, so this would be the more bullish. So you'd have to get your 1, 2 out of that, 3, 4, 5 to get your 1. It could be though, right? It shouldn't. Certainly could be. So if I'm an uber bull here, I don't know if you are, George, but that could work. I'd have to go up a degree. That could work. 1, 2. You're looking for a bigger 3. Oh, I'd kind of be eyeballing for how deep, if we get a correction here, how deep it goes. Because that looks like something finished there because of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's hurry up and wait for me. Well, so I would kind of key off of this structure right there. If I come back down into that, something along those lines, now I'm interested. You could get a corner on that. If that's the pivot. Now I got that. But again, right, these are high class problems for a bull. Oh, I thought it was a 1, 2, 3. It turns out it's a 1, 2, 1, 2. Well, that's not going to be the 3. 1, 2. If you got that, of course, that's likely to just be a 1, 2. Now you're looking for 3, 4, 5. So it just gets more and more bullish. But careful about that. That's tricky in there. This would be watch list, like top of the watch list. I'd be looking here, but I want it deeper. I want to know where I am. It could be either or. I don't trade either or. If I can see it, okay, I know right where it is. Now I could be wrong, but at least in my mind, I can lean into it and say, okay, I'm comfortable taking that trade, even though I recognize it could, right? Always, right? You could always do that. Now or we do this. You don't know, but you got to work with what's there. So right now I look at that structure and go, okay, well, it got through it, came back a little test. Now if we come back and test again, now I'm interested. Here I'm watching. All right, that's good. But very, very good. That's some of the best work I've seen you put up. GZ 1968, very, very good work. Okay, let me keep moving. I got PKS Avenda. I know this will be good, and his will be so good. I won't have to spend much time on it. Okay, how are we doing on time? All right, a little long. Oh, is this Monty, we were looking at this Cypher. Cypher Be Free. Oh, maybe that's the free version. Someone showed me this. Is that the one we were looking at the other day? That's the $500 indicator on TradingView?
Oh, I don't think that was with me, but yeah, Market Cypher is one of the, I don't know, forgot who it was, but
it has like a bunch of moving averages on it. It looks like a guppy as well.
Yeah.
So maybe this is a variation of it, but it looks kind of like this. It has dots on it. I thought maybe that's what that was. Oh shit, you're giving me a 15-minute? You're giving me a 15 PK? All right, let me go. I got to pull out here to see where we are.
Looks like that's ADA anyway, so you might want to change it to whatever he was asking.
Okay, so does it work that way? If I just type in, I'll get his count.
Yeah,
Zil
as long
US.
as it's on. As long as he's not changed the count.
Oh, that's on.
I would
he's got it
do
on Binance, so it's got to be this first one.
No, that one's calculated by TradingView. So
okay, ZIL/USD, but it shows in the link that it's on Binance.
If you go to USDT, it'll change. Add a T.
Could this be it? Binance US?
No, go to add in a USDT there.
Oh, I'm sorry. I see he did have the T in there.
So now I'll do that top one.
Okay, got it. Okay, all right. So you gave me the 15. All right, so you're all right. I just have to come out here to see where are we. All right, so I know we have a lot of members trading this. A lot of members caught this run. So this is actually looks quite good here. So let's just pull back out. All right, so right off the bat, you see, I know Elliott Wave doesn't work in crypto, but look at this nice sideways 2 here, followed by the very sharp 4 that we get, right? If only it worked in crypto, this would be so much easier. 1, 2, 3, 4. We are in logs, so let's just check that 3, just out of curiosity, how we did. Right there. Okay. Well, we cleared the 100. That's all we need to do. All right, to kind of call that a 3. 1, 2, 3. That's classic 4, right? You can just look at it and say, okay, well, there's the 4. Well, we can not like that. That's your last 4. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like you might have an expanded B there. Well, I guess it doesn't matter here. So A, B, C into that. So let's check that. Looks like that's a 50-ish. 50-ish. All right, so let me now take it down because you gave me a 15-minute. Okay, so we got our ABC. We're technical here. We get a nice reaction, just straight rip. Shallow 2, but that's all right. 1, 2, looks like that's 1, 3, 4, 3. So that just working backwards. Okay, so we need an impulse here. So that has to be the 4. That has to be the 3. That has to be the 2, 1. Okay, working backwards. All right, all plays. Jeez, you guys with your giant numbers. Okay, so there's the 1. More giant numbers. God, you guys used that super cycle down here on a 15-minute. Holy smokes. Okay, 1. All right, let's get in there as he's on the 15. All right, so coming down from our 1, oh, that's good work. 3, so you're kind of, there's the lowest close. That's a liquidation wick, right? Against inherent in crypto, you're going to get that. But that looks like a good candidate for the A. A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, nice leading diagonal. God, it's a shame Elliott doesn't work in crypto. So frustrating. What a perfect ending diagonal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. So here's our launch point. Let's just tighten that up because I've been bouncing around in different time frames. I'm just going to darken you so I can see it a little better. Okay, 1, 2. Some high class problems. Okay, so that has to be a 2 given the depth of it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the 1, 2. You got. Well, so you got to account for it. So that's 1 ABC into the 2. Okay, so you're good there. 1, 2. Oh, he drew it for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good work. Okay, so there's your impulse. So we're qualified. So you see what he's doing here is to think, because this is like, what the fuck? But right there, I get the impulse, right? So now I can work backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Should have labeled that, right? But right, so I know he sees it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So once I have that, then I can start to zero in, right? There's classic 4, right? I can zero in on that and say, okay, now I can start to put the pieces together because I can identify this one piece of the puzzle. Okay, I got to have an impulse in my 3rd, so now I can start to work backwards, because you'd be looking at this going, what the heck? Is it 1, 2, 3? You got to count. So you always start, where are the deepest retracements, right? So then I can say, okay, where did we correct? So that often is how you're identifying the structure. Where are the deeper corrections? Because if we're just going straight, you don't know where you are. You need the retracement to qualify the count. 1, 2, not going to be 3. Could have been an ABC and then we head down, right? But that was less likely because we finished with a 5, right? So you had a strong candidate here for this to be a technical low. 1, 2. Right, I'm always kind of just out of curiosity, right in the pocket, right to the target. Right, so we had a little algo involvement, right? So if you're a buyer here, right, you got an algo behind you, or you're behind an algo, 1 ABC, a little dicey in there, but that works. You expand the B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is how you know where you are. 4, 5. Okay, so you would like that 5 to go a little further. Doesn't happen. You get a little. So this sideways fuckery, here's your classic 4. We're not progressing the trend, right? So always easier to spot the 4s than the 2s. ABC, got to be a W. A, B, C, X. Ooh, can we do that? Oh, shit, PK. Can we do it? Oh, God, I got to go to my Elliott Wave cheat sheet. Can we finish the Y with a triangle? I'm going to guess that he already did this. Yes, we can. Flat zigzag triangle, right? Good job, PK. Okay, so we can go W, X, Y. So A, B, C, D, E gives us the 4 here. That's the advantage of having that cheat sheet right on your desk. Okay, so I can double check that. Okay, so W, X, A, B, C, D, Y into the 4. Here's my screaming 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So always it's easier to find the 4 and then you work backwards. Okay, there's the 5. So I completed up here. Would have preferred a bigger 5, right? So just for clarity, ABC, pardon me. Oh, well, so right off the bat, you would have thought this was a W, but because we have more complexity, he's kind of worked backwards and said, okay, well, it likely WXY into the A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So ending diagonal. That's a little skinny, but it works. So we get a kicker in the 5th. So there's your B. Okay, so we're spot on here. Oh, well, so I was just looking at that going, could this be over here? I don't know that it matters, but let's go with it here. So A, B, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're in that qualifying phase. Do we have an impulse here? So it's very nice work here. So he's waiting for this to qualify, right? So we don't know for sure. If we get a low here, then we say, okay, we got a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. So that would imply. Oh, can we get there? Is that overkill? Let's look here. Well, my thought being, do we have an extra layer? Do we need it? Yeah, I guess we do. I guess we do. All right, so I was thinking, if could we do this as 1, 2, 3, 4, but we need it because this is an impulse. So I see your thinking here. Right? So sometimes I can just see how they thought it through. So it has to be 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're qualifying in here to get that impulse done. And then you're going to just anticipate, right? There's no reason to think otherwise until the market shows you something else that you're looking for that 4 to come back. Here's the bigger one that you got to pay attention to. If it's going up there, then something else is happening down here. But still, just force a habit. I just always do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. That would give us the 3. So this is a bit of a deep. Oh, he's talking about the 15-minute down here. Okay, so this, I'm going to just pull this over just so I can see a little bit better. All right, so you can see, well, look how nicely that. This, I'm curious, maybe I bumped it. I would be putting this down here. Well, you don't know how deep you're going to go. So I might start at the 50 because you could certainly finish here. Whoa, God, look at this. You could certainly finish right here. I'm wondering why you had that so high. Well, first bite here at the 50 because you don't know that it's going golden zone, right? Nobody knows, right? Nobody knows how far it's going to go. So this is just as valid. But if you're going to allow for the potential, that I think my guess is that's what he's doing here is allowing for that. The premise would be, oh shit, where are we? I'm going to take you up. This is a bigger 2. So here's the 1. So any of these down here are contenders. Maybe I bumped it, PK. I'm not sure why you had that higher, but that looks like the obvious spot here that I would start buying. We come down here. Now, you don't need to be sitting here with a limit order. See if you get the other, just kind of putting it together. Since we have this little 1, if this is, you don't have the 4 here, but I'd be looking once I get that 4, depending on where it is, down here to line up to give me a little more confluence. So if, right, I don't have this, but if I were to get this right at the 1618, then good candidate for that to be in. Would we be done here? Well, certainly. I mean, you've got nice market structure to work with. Nothing says it couldn't come down a little bit lower. I'd want some volume profile on this, although we are log scale. And then what's the first thing you're going to do? Well, pardon me. This would be the one. All right, where do we go? All right, here's the golden zone. He doesn't keep his in gold. There's the golden zone. Pop, right? So that come in. So look here, we'd have the 2618 right at the 65. You'd have the 1618. You don't know, right? So that's why you prepare to be laddering in here with a defined exit. So I get stopped out. How much am I going to lose? Would dictate obviously the amount of size and whether you're trading with any leverage. I would suggest otherwise. I would never be laddering in with leverage personally, right? It's too high. But if I got the first reaction here and then I was going to do this, so I would never use this, just me personally, leverage on the first one. Now this one, right? Now I might add some leverage, right? Because that might be how. So one, definitely have your eyes on this one. Definitely right up there. Also top of the watch list. It's good. That's good work, PK. Nicely done. So there's your row. A, B. We're just trying to complete the C and have it come in somewhere technical. It's not. I mean, this is not easy, Elliott. Right? PK's been at this for a while, and he's been with us for a while. So his first charts were not this good. Right? He's progressed, right? So he's getting better and better at it. So this, right, PK, tell me what you were thinking here. So unless I bumped it, why it was up here, let's send it down here. 1, 2, right? Heads up on that. So it's so simple, right? Set an alert. If it pops in here and you can finish this thing, you can go down. So he already sent me something on a 15-minute. If I can finish that in a 5, I'm looking for the reaction. Give me the reaction. I'm in every time. And I got a golden corner. I got algo targets. I got an algo at my back. What am I worried? What's the first thing I got to clear? I got to clear the sell. Again, I don't have this pivot. First thing I got to clear is that fucker right there. Get through. Now look. Nothing but blue sky. Oh, there'll be others from the other highs, but then you'll be off in a good trade. Just because if you get position, don't assume we're going to the moon. Right? Do the same thing, right? That's of course it could do it, but the odds are you're going to complete an impulse just like he completed a tricky impulse here. Correction, likely you're going to give back half of. But it's just human nature. Once this thing starts going, what do we start thinking about? Oh, it's just going to keep going. You don't think about, well, it's really all I'm trying to get you to think about is say, well, hey, odds are there's going to at a better price. Maybe it goes, maybe you in here, you'd be at some point, right? This is, it's kind of a bummer, right? But you look at that coming. Let's see if I can get that out of it. Right. Oh, I'm in. I've got a winner on my hands. And this is what creates the wave structure. Greed kicks in. Oh God, that thing could just keep going. All right. Look at all this nice. Maybe I'm 2, 1, 2, and I'm going to get an extension. Right. So that's ultimately measuring. Right. It's human emotion and crowd dynamics. Because what is the crowd thinking? Right. Oh, we're just off we go. It's never coming back down. So we're off, right? We're not coming back till 2025. Or we're just off to the moonshot. Well, you can just kind of look at this and say, boy, even if the whole thing started to got bigger, right? This, right? If you get a bigger reaction out of here, right? And I got something that started to look like, hey, maybe I'm in the 3, right? So this would all have, right? I'm just leaving out a degree. So this would be the 1, 2. And I got my big 3, right? At some point, right, you're just looking at that going, you can just kind of lay that out and say, wow, look at that structure here. So down here, boom, you're likely to get another shot at it. I wasn't watching Zilliqa. Look at that beautiful impulse I got here. Looks like I got my 3, or looks like I got, this could go higher. At some point here, this is likely to get tested. You don't know. Whoops. But that just is so ripe for a test. 1, 2, 1, 2. What's it going to be, right? Where's the, right? That there's going to be a 5 in there. Has to be. Well, has to be maybe the wrong way to say that. Likely to be. So that's why I try and encourage you guys to don't panic and go, oh shit, I missed it. God damn it, I missed it. I better jump in, right? The odds are almost always there's going to be another opportunity to get in because people can't resist taking temptation, or the temptation of taking profit. Particularly if it's a non-professional who gets that run. Oh my God, look at how much money I made. They just can't resist it. Only the professional can stay or just let it run, right? Hands off the mouse. That takes a lot of practice, a lot of time with the market, and then doing the detail work. If I get a 5 here, does it make sense? Do I complete an impulse here? If I complete the impulse, you wouldn't, since I'm long, I've completed the impulse, but I'm not going to get a correction because I'm long. No. Right. And then see, it's that thinking, oh, it's going to keep going. Oh, shit, I should. Then you get woulda, shoulda, coulda. Oh, God damn it. I could have taken a profit there. Oh, I should have. You know what? I would have, but I read something on Twitter and now you've given back half of it. Have a target. And if you're like, oh man, I think that, don't take all of it off. At least take 40, 50, 60% of it. Bank the profit. Bank it. You'll likely need it if you get that turn. It's funny what your mind is. Ultimately, you can boil all this down, right? Trading is always the battle between your ears. Fear and greed. Oh shit. Fear. Oh, it's going to go to the moon. It's not going to retrace. Greed. Let's keep going here. That's great work, PK. Great work. Okay, I got Koki here, and then we probably have to. Well, James doesn't care if I come back to his because he knows exactly what he's doing. The perk for other members and for people who are watching, he's nice enough to give us that content. Okay, what do we got here? I got Koki. What are we looking at here, Koki? Oh, XVS. To the tether, got a 4-hour. Oh, this is pretty. God, it's a shame that Elliott Wave doesn't work in crypto. It would be so much easier if I could spot those 5s. Wouldn't it make trading so much easier if I could spot all this stuff? Boy, sure would. Now that's a little tricky there. That's a little, see. Now, did you give me this in log? Yeah, I think you did. Okay, so there's a clear impulse. Now, are we done there? Oh, you could count that a couple of different ways, couldn't you? I'm sure Koki's already thought that through. Right? See, you've got a good. Let's see. Here, let me just do it. I'll just put mine on so you guys can see it a little bit better. Okay, so there's the impulse. So we have a corner pocket, right? But now we're pushing second warning line. Let's look at that too. This is a little gnarly coming out of here. Well, you got to account for it. So I see why you did that. 1, 2. Well, that's a fucker right there. Well, you're kind of stuck with it. Right? So you got to market. I'm always going to make it easy on you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got to account for it. Oh, Jesus. That looks like a triangle, doesn't it? Oh, but you need it, right? So you need it for the 3 into the B. So you'd have to go A, B, ripping C to get you the B up here. Doesn't break, right? So that's, boy, would that have been a tell, right? So we looked at quite a few of these today, just examples of why you don't buy that, because I promise you. And what makes that all the more bearish is the fact that they couldn't get there, right? The B is always the failure to get to the pivot, just like a 2 is. But that's gnarly, right? That's tricky, but so he's dealing with it, right? So, okay, we got to call it something, and we need 3 in there. Now I'm on a 2 hour, but that's just a straight launch rip, but can't get to a new high, right? Anytime you can't get the pivot, the market is talking to you. Can't get the pivot down here. This one, right? So there's a double bottom, right? There's somebody who doesn't know better sold it right there. Somebody doesn't know better sold it on the break of that low. Right. Same, just over and over again, right? You can just see what retail does. Okay, so I got an A, I got a B. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like, can we get an impulse in there? Koki, is that what you're thinking? 1, 2. Oh, that's gnarly. Can we get that to work? That's a tricky one. Let's just see if we can get that to work. Oh, shit. Maybe it doesn't matter here. Well, it has to be the 4, 5, 2. Oh, shit. Maybe it doesn't matter. Because we're really looking at the hard right edge for the next trade, but I'm always kind of checking their work to see how they're doing with it. That might be a bit of a stretch. Oh, but pardon me. We can do it this way. Pardon me. Shit. Must be time for lunch. See what you're doing. Pardon me. 2, 3, 4. We overlap the 4, 5. Okay, so we're good. So we have the good C to give us the 2, even though it's a really odd shape. A, B, C. That is definitely unusual.
He said,
okay.
Is it diagonal?
Yeah. I didn't spot it at first, so my bad here. I was trying to get an impulse in there. Okay, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's the 1, shallow 2, right? Crypto, more so than any asset I've ever seen. Shallow 2s. 3, 4, 5. There's let's just check it, right? Which I'm sure he did, right? So you just want to double check that you don't mislabel here. So 5 is shorter than 3, all right? So just in the 1, I'm sure he did that. So there's your good 1. Probably doesn't matter. ABC. So here's the impulse. You could work back. So that works. All right. So it's actually a little bit better here. This is unusual, or so much truncation. A, B, but there's a 5 there. So you're stuck with it. So you got the C of the B relative to the A of the B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's your 2. Well, you went total Monte Crypto on me there. Okay, so you've got that's a funky one. Okay, so 1, 2. Let's get this back here. Okay, so I'm going to take that up a degree. There's the bigger 2. Here's the next 1, 2. Let's take these up. 1, 2. All right, there's the next one. So we've gone 1, 2. Let's just see how that is. All right, do we have an algo with us? Sure looks like it. Oh, fucker. Am I spot on? That's a little pencil wick that went through, little turtle head. It happens. I wouldn't shy away from it. The LA count plays. You may have lost the algo here and you lost him again here, but you'll get him eventually. Okay, so there's it's getting gnarly down here. Okay, so this is something that really Monte Crypto pioneered with us, is the unusual workings of how he's putting those median lines together. You guys have to come back on Wednesday to see some really creative use of median lines. So here's the 1, 2. So let's see, he's got multiple counts here. So I've got 2. This is the big one. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so let me change that color so I can see it. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's kind of a shitty finish. You have to pull the 1, 2 out of that. 3, 4, 5. Oh, that might be a stretch. You might have to use that as I see what you're doing. Yeah, I was going to say you likely have to use that as your B because it's such a clear 3. 3. Oh, I don't like that. As your 4 of this degree. Not sure where that one fits in. So 1, 2, let me just draw it up so I can see it. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a 3 in that. So that would be your A. This is your B. This is your C here. So what 4 is this? Oh, I see. Okay, so you had 2 counts in here. Let me take that up a degree so I can follow it. Okay, so this is an alternate here. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, so it actually should be up here. So it would be 1, 2, 3. Nope, it would have to be here. Pardon me. So we got 2 counts side by side. 1, 2, 3, A, B, C for the 4. All right, now I'm with you. Okay. Always easier when it's your own work. Now, did you see the unusual set of median lines that he's using here? Very creative. 1, 2. Looks like, is that an inside? Looks like. Let me see if I can recreate that. I'm not even sure I can. No, what'd you do there? Shift? Yeah, there it is. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, working on the sliding parallel here of that 4. So the larger count is here. 1, 2, 3, A, B, C into the 4, working on that 5 to get you to the, I'm going to take you up a degree. Let's go up and let's go to white here. So here's the one we're working on, this being the alternate. That it was, oh Jesus, this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we completed here, and this is the 2. So I would say primary. I like what you did here for the 4. 2 through the 3. That's the 3 here. Well, you're in the pocket, just right where you're looking for the 4. 23 to the 38. I know that's a lot of lines on there, so you can see it a little bit better. Let's get that out of there so you can see it. He'll still have it on his. Okay, so here's the impulse. Here's the correction. Tricky, right? Tricky one right there for your 4, but if you're going to have that, that's not an uncommon place to have it. So if the 4 is in here, why down here? Okay, so I see what he's thinking. Maybe it's a 2. So okay, these are hard to see. I see what he's doing. All right, so this is the A. He's thinking that could be the. I always put these in yellow so I can spot them. So there's 2 counts here right next to each other. So this could be A working on the B before we get out for a C, and this is a 2 on the assumption we complete the 1 here. If it's 1, 2, 3, and we want A, B, C into the 4, so you got 2 counts here in play, right? So what do you do? Well, it's me. I wait for clarity because if I really am a raging bull, I'm not sure why down here. Oh, that's the count for if it's a 2. If I'm a raging bull in here and I want to be long, nothing wrong with that as a 1, 2. Or on the idea that the 4 is in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this would be going up to finish it. Let this play, right? Because this could just as easily. Well, let's finish it out. This would be A, B, C of the B, and then we'd come down for the C. That's what he's thinking. All right, so here's the A, right? So it's either a 4 or an A. Well, here's the 5, right? So we're working backwards from the 5. This is such a strong 3. You'd have to be thinking that it's a B. It can't be C. I mean, you're force fitting so hard there to make that a 5. 3, 4, 5. Now it's a little bit. Yeah, I know it would work. Here's the sharp 2 way. Or you can look at the 4 is really just doing this, right? That's what we're doing in the 4. So we're not progressing the trend. We're just going sideways. So the candidate here for the 4 is good. There's the 5. So if I really want a piece of it, I might just take a piece here without a lot of size on the possibility that you get that. Because the risk here would be so modest, and I'm going to. I bet you that's a golden zone. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Or 50. Let's get you out of here. All right, a little front run on the golden zone. Looks like could be A, B. That's a little gnarly. You got to let that fucks you up a little bit. Let's go to a line. It's more like A, B, C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like a good impulse even when we go to the line chart. I'd take it. If I want to trade this asset, you could even get the B here. So even just the risk reward here is worth considering, even if you just took it right there and you just went, okay, so if I get first algo target, let's use 707. Well, there's 3.75 to 1. Nothing wrong with that. Now it gets here, you don't know, you can't confirm it right here. You don't know what you've got. Could be a B, could be the A of the B before we go down for this C. There's no way to confirm that until either one of two things has to happen. Either we go up and we get a bigger push here. Now you could back away from the idea that it's a B. I suppose technically it still could be. Oh, wait a second. This would be your 1. No. Oh, well, you could expand it. It's possible. Unlikely, but possible. If you went A, B, and you got the big push up here, do you care? If you're a buyer down here, you got a monster on your hand. What'd you get there? Right, we got that. Now you're almost 8 to 1, right? You're not sad about, oh shit, I don't know what it is. That's again, these are high class problems. Is that a B or a 3? I'd be inclined to be thinking 3. And the B's in, well, shit. I suppose it could still be up here. 1, 2. If I get that 3, am I worried about that? No, but I'm going to take some profit because I'm still not positive. If I get 5 here, if I get that, I'm going to bank something because that could just as easily be headed back down here to the C. You can't eliminate it until I can eliminate it, but I would be kind of paying attention right here. Look at this structure I could play off. So I'd have a 1, 2. Granted, I don't have this yet, but if I saw this structure that I could work off, I'm interested here. If I get it in 3, why would you not take that, right? I wouldn't just sit here with a limit order, but if I start, right, then I got a nice little maybe, I don't know, could be, right? I assume, right, if you assume I'm going to be wrong more than I'm right, well, I surely don't want to take a lot of risk, but if I can get that, I complete. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, would I complete? 1 of the next degree. Or pardon me, could be the 5, could be the 1 of the 5. If this is the 4, right? These are high class problems. God, could that be the 1 of the 5 or the actual 5? High class problem. Where am I looking next? If I get, and I don't have that, all right, same thing starts all over again down here. Now, what do I have to work with down here? Do I have some of this structure to work with here? Prior resistance to play into? And if I just get you out of there. Kind of problems you want to have. Is it a 3 or a C? Is it a 4 or starting on the next degree? High class problems for an Elliott trader. It's when you don't know, God, is it a 2? Is it a Z? Is it when you're that lost, there's no reason to force the trade. At most time, when you force a trade, more times than not, you know you're doing it, and it's a little hopium that goes on. Well, it could be. I don't know. Let's just try it. Usually, if that's the thought, what's going on in your head, you're almost setting yourself up for a loser. Because when you're unsure of it, you're going to be quick to get out. So that the idea of even if you got a little bit ahead here, oh shit, the slightest little panic because you don't have conviction in the trade because you were kind of iffy about it in the first place, that your mind starts playing tricks on you. You're just like, oh shit, I was wrong. All right, I better get out. Right. And then as soon as you're doing that, that's the one that'll go. Whereas if I work through all of this and I say, okay, I've got conviction in where I am. Here's what I can say. I know I have 80% odds. So why would I panic sell here? Because if I saw a little pullback, I know my 80% is still in play. I want to get that 80%. And you don't want to do that. It gets a little weak here and you panic sell. I'm going to buy that. And then it ends up going to you and you're like, God damn it. Right. I shoulda, I woulda, I coulda. Most of trading is between your own ears. All right. Did we get everybody covered?
We actually just had a donation. So
happy to do it.
Rune on Ascendex. So are you in E?
To the donation. Okay. Tell me again. Are you
in E?
N-E. I don't think I know this one. On to the tether?
Yes, but on Ascendex, is there... so scroll down right there. Syndex. I don't know. Right.
Oh, this right here on sushi.
No. So above KU coin, 3 above you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got it. Okay. Oh God, this looks a little thin, doesn't it?
If there's not a lot of volume, you can do against Binance because it won't.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, this is all right. This is all right. I don't know this exchange. Do you?
I've never heard of it.
Well, I don't hate it, right? I mean, this looks pretty good right off the bat. Okay, well, just at first glance, I'm in log scale, so I'm expecting that to distort to my eye, right? So 1, 2, 3. Well, just out of curiosity, let's see how we looked here. All right, so certainly a good candidate here for this to be a nice impulse with an extension in the fifth. I mean, pretty nice. I think you'd have to be, right? Because this becomes, I suppose you could. So if I brought that up on the daily and it looked like that, I would immediately go here so I could see what was going on down there. And we're going from, we certainly have 4 times the range. So nice little double here. Remember, a B always, this is a great example here. We were talking about this before. If they can't break that, market's talking to you. It looks like this is all trading pretty technically. And also, same kind of thing. We're like, okay, where's the 2? Where's the 4? Chart. Where are the corrections? That's the only way we can qualify what we have. This classic 4, all right? So you put that over here, even though it's a little truncated. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C. You'd have to do it that way. 1, 2, 3, right? So where's the 4? That's too wonky. So all of this area looks like the 4. Well, maybe you might be able to do it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, let's label it. I have to dig in there, but right off the bat, that looks like you got a good finish here. So let's go sub-micro. This is a little bit of a cluster, but that's very 4-like. So the 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that looks like that plays. Okay, A, B. I'll zoom in there a little bit. Does this start to really get ugly when we go to an 8? It's not too bad. Let's go to a 4. See how that looks up here. All right, so that's your highest high. So that sure looks like so could we get that? Let's just check there. Is that an A? Looks like that could work. You got to measure these, right? You got to take the time to do it. I know it's a slight pain in the ass, but you got to do it. Well, so right off the bat, I see 3 is shorter than 1. All right, do we have the same here? No, it can work. Okay, so we can go A. Now let's just think for a second. What you want is this to be 1, 2. So if this is God damn it. You might have to use that. Looks like there's a 5 in there. B. All right. So sometimes I'll just kind of label them and then go back and check. And often you'll find yourself making corrections, but I don't hate it. 2, 3, 4, 5. See that you'd need another leg here. If it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you want to be done here. Can I get an impulse in there? Well, so working backwards, right? So this would be the 4. Would it work from here? This actually looks a lot like one of the first ones we looked at, where this could be 5, 3, 5, but well, here, let's put that in context. Okay, so let me pull back out again. Okay, so this is come here. 8. If we complete it up here, see, that's going to be plenty deep in arithmetic. But you can't really make the switch, right? It's good because then you're rationalizing the trade. Let's go back to log because the range is so high. So we're from 0.007 to 25. You got to do it in log. It's kind of a conundrum. So with that, you'd be thinking W working on the X, Y to come down to the prior 3, 4, right? Good target. Maybe get something more shallow, but you're kind of stuck in this back and forth here. because it's certainly we're in arithmetic. We could do it. We could put the 5 here. This is the bitch of. It's a little bit of a problem in crypto because we get these massive moves here. Well, so whoever was asking for this, are you in already? See if he gives me a reply here. So you've gone so damn far. Let's go look at that. Well, I might do. I'd probably go with it. So let's go. I'm coming out of log. Bring this back. The upside in crypto is so massive that you often find yourself in this battle between log, not log. Looking at it on a daily to get that count to make sense. I mean, you're kind of stuck here going, okay, so if that's 1 and this is 2, well, then 3, 4, 5 is all way up here yet to come, right? So this would be just a monster home run. So I don't want to discourage that thinking. So this is it could be that you work the log, right? So you can get the count and then come out of it here. So you get the depth. So let's go with that. So recognize that you have the alternate. If this comes down here and challenges this low, you're going to have to come back to this and think WXY, and you're going to have a deeper correction. But since in arithmetic here, you've got a decent candidate here for that is the 2. We'll just put this off to the side.
He said, I'm not looking for an entry for a long-term bag.
Okay, well then let's stay in arithmetic here. But you need to have that as an alternate. So I would split the screen and then have one on log, one in arithmetic, because it's hard. There's no way to know. So, but because there's so much, this is so much potential here. Let's stay arithmetic 2. And it's the time balance is okay. So you look how far that went up and how far that went down. You can't eliminate this, but for a bull, you would want to think ABC into the 2, and then we're into the 1, 2 here. So I'm here. Let's hide that one. Let's hide it. All right, but don't lose track of it. All right, so we know the algo is here in arithmetic, but now you've lost the buy side here. That's the bummer of it, right? So when you're going back and forth with this, you're going to find this is a constant series of trade-offs. Oh, arithmetic, now we lose the golden zone. If I do it in log scale, we haven't lost the golden zone. So we're right at a 50. There's no easy answer here. I wish there was, right? I mean, was talking about this in the Bitcoin video on Friday. You know, who's the definitive body on this? Well, you look through historical context, right? Elliott himself, right, never talked about log scale. Prechter, it's not in the book. But if you look at current examples, particularly massive ranges, it becomes kind of you got to look at both. There's no easy answer, but because the potential here is so big. The other thing that's frustrating, we can't confirm that the algos are playing off log scale. We can't confirm it. Right? All you can do is use your eyeballs and say, well, are my pinging off the 23.6? Are they using log scale? But let's stay more traditional here. All right, so let me come out of log. All right, so there's the 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, even though that's a shit wick. Even if you just work on closes, you got a good candidate here for the 1, 2. So if I'm playing this, I would, because of that, I would keep my size a little smaller here. If you're playing for the long term, there'll be plenty of time to add on to this. Let's get that down to something more reasonable. Oh, go to green. Big money. Okay, the 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, see if we can work with. I wouldn't even worry about this. This is just shit you find in crypto. Even up here, 8. That looks okay. So let's go. Let's go to an 8. Looks like you get a double there. Oh, that's what I want here. So it looks like you got WXY into the 2 here. Okay, 1, 2. And this is, do we get 7, 8, 6? Or so we can still work with that Oh, pardon me. How did I miss that? Oh, I know, because of this. All right. So, okay, this is actually starting to come together. All right. So this looks better. So now here, if I were just to focus on this range here, oh shit, let's see how I can do that. All right. Now I'm looking at a range from 2 to 12. Still, you're over 4 times the range, which is kind of the guideline for when to go to log. But let's stick with it here. So this, I just ignore that way, right? It's an aberration. Here's a good A, B, C, and the W, A, B, C, and the X. So now it actually starts to clean up. So it starts to look like a better count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is a bitch. So you'd have to do it this way. You'd have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's get that here. So you'd have to go A, B. Can you get 5 out of that? Let's go 2. All right. 1, 2. Is there another way to trade that? I don't think so. You have to go 3. Well, actually, let's rethink this. Can I get 5 here? This is 1, 2, 3, 4. You'd have an impulse here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got A, B. You can't make that. That won't work. So you're stuck with the W. You got to clear 5 here. You got to clear 3 here. You got a waterfall here. You're kind of stuck with that. You could even do it here. W, X, E, C. That's kind of an ugly X, but it's all you got. So you'd have to go A, B, C, 1, 2. This is actually a little tricky here because it's very easy to think, oh, there it is, right? But that's a bigger 4, but it doesn't overlap the 1. Yeah, we'll get it. Sometimes when they do this, it just means you got to work at it a little harder. Okay, so we hold. So we can't eliminate that as an impulse, but it doesn't fit with the rest of the count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got to account for that. It has to be an A. That's a 5. A, B, C. A, B, C, W, A, B, C, X. God, can we get this? It feels a bit like a force fit. 1, 2, 3, 4. I could do the A there. No, I don't have a B. So I'd have to do A here, B, skinny. I think you could take it though. So you need 3 here. So you'd have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So I like that better because I've talked about this before. When you can do it this way, I want that all to be self-contained. I want this to be one impulse. This is too far outside of the whole pattern here. So this would be tougher to finish that in 5. You have to do 1, 2, or in an A, B, in a 3. So you go A, B, 1, 2. Fuck, that's brutal. Let me get that to work. A, B, I need a 5 in there. So working backwards, that would have to be the 4, the 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got no B. So this has to be the A, the B. So, what am I on, 2 hour? Let's go to I think you can get it, right? So I'm taking this extra time because this is what I would do. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you can get it. Okay. So you'd have to do it right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a little skinny in there. I'm going to do it right here. Okay, so you can get that to work. So you can get, there's your 5. Okay, so we can go 1, 2, 3, A, B, C into the 4. Let's just check that out of curiosity. Looks like there might be an algo there. A little shy. Well, there's a good, you see how these algos battle it out. What blocked it from getting to its target? That's 65 to the tick. Right, so this algo took over here and it denied it getting that target. So algos are in here. That's a good sign. Okay, so there's 1, 2. Oh shit, where are we going? Okay, so look that's kind of interesting, right? If they're going to break it, they'll break it hard. All right, so you'd have to be up here. Same thing. They broke it without any trouble. 1, 2. Ooh, that looks like a 3. Okay, so you got your 2 in here. Oh, let's try and simplify. Okay, so you got golden zone followed by golden zone. So you got 2 thoughts here. One, you could just buy here on, let's label it up. 1, 2. Boy, now I want to buy it. This looks good. So what do we have here? Golden corner inside of another golden corner. Now, I'd use the furthest one out. Okay, do you see what I mean there? So if I pull this out, you got golden inside of golden. It doesn't get much better than that. 2. Whew. I'm going to buy this as soon as we get off of this live stream. This looks very good. Okay, so there's your 3 for looking for that 5 up here. Okay, so you got 2 hard targets. So this algo is going to stay long until it gets that or gets stopped out. And the same here. This one's going to stay long until it gets that or gets stopped out. But you could, my shorthand, this is always going to be very close to where the 1618 is. You can kind of, okay, so now the whole thing starts to come together. All right. It's usually, that's just what you want. You're in here digging around. You're going, what the fuck is all of a sudden you start to see, the picture starts to come clear. Because when you first brought it up, like, oh shit, what are we doing? Log? Are we doing arithmetic? Then you dig. This is called technical analysis. It's not supposed to be easy. Right? If it was easy, everybody would be rich. Now, crypto's making it easy at times when we get these parabolic moves. I mean, if you bought down here, right, was that hard? Right? All you had to do was just not sell it. People making a fortune right there. Okay, so now you go, oh shit, okay, I missed that. All right, so did I miss the party? Did I miss the party here? Well, you missed the first party, right? But it looks like they're going to have another one. Because if we put the whole thing in context, this is 1, this is 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's take that up, get to intermediate here. We'll go to the color of money. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Right? That's as bullish as it can get. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Right? I think in Bitcoin, the 1, 2. Right? So when these are high class problems. Oh, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And now you probably got another 1, 2 in there, right? So you're waiting now for the next 1, 2, because if this is going to go to a 3, it has to have a 1, 2 in it. Has to. What a high class problem. I can take this. Do you see that? Right? Does that make sense? Right? Things should be clicking in your head. Okay, I've got an impulsive into a 1. This is complicated, right? So the challenge of Elliott Wave is always in the corrections, not in the trend, not in the 5. Even if it's a diagonal, that's the easy part. Oh shit, it's a 5. Okay, so the 3, it's the corrections where we have 24 variations. That's the challenge of Elliott Wave, not the impulses, not the diagonals. It's all the complexity in the corrections. Okay, so now I've got 1, 2. So I can look at this and say, if I'm right here, you never know if you're right until after the fact. But right here, that's as good as you get anywhere, anytime in the market, period, right there. Now, the only thing that can make that a little bit better is if I see the reaction, because I know there's an algorithm responding there. I don't have to wonder about it. It's just like I know there's an algorithm responding here. That doesn't mean that it couldn't, but it's not. This is not a guaranteed winner. That could just as easily do this, and then you're pulling, saying, well, that one blew up, and then you're pulling it down here, saying, oh, maybe we're going deeper for that too, and this is going to turn into a WXY, or this is an ABC or a WXY. All of that's still possible. You don't get certainty. But look how good this is right now. So if this is accurate, and we can look at it and say, one thing we can say is technical. We know it's technical, right? So what does technical mean? It means algorithms are playing. Now, I've got a 1 and I've gone to another golden zone. So if this is going to go, so what you're eliminating for yourself here is your own self-inflicted wounds, because you know here that if it goes up here, you don't stop here. You don't go, oh shit, man, what a nice trade. Whoa, look at that little pop I got. No, because you know this has to be a 5, has to, or what you've got here is wrong. Boy, is that not? So look, Jesus, look what I've got here. I've got 80% odds here. I've got 80% odds here. And I know not only does this have to be a 5 to give me a third, but the whole thing, it has to finish to give me the third relative to this degree. Come here. Oh God, I'm hurrying so I can go buy this. 3, 4, 5, right? So I know this has to be a 5. Now, look what I've got here. Talk about high class problem. If this is the 1, 2, and I get the 3 here, is that going to, and I get the 5 here, where am I? Is that going to be the 3 relative to this? Absolutely not. Now, that doesn't mean that it couldn't go down, right? That doesn't mean we couldn't do this. But if this is going to play Elliott ball, if it's going to keep going, I'm not done. So if I'm in here, what do I think where do I think I am? Right, if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is the 2, what have I done here? Probably not the 3. I mean, so you say, well, but is it impossible that it's the 3? No, because you could have a shallow 3 and you could have your 4 here, and then you could have a tinier 4, right? And then you're back here saying, well, that was unusual. I got the extension in the 1. I got a shorter 3 and I got a shorter 5. There's no certainty. We don't get certainty. You quit looking for it. That's a fool's errand. There is no certainty. Well, maybe that Bitcoin's going to go. I kid. Oh, there is no certainty here. What have I got there? I'm at the 3. Do I want to get out there? Oh shit, man! Look at that. I got a double top, and that guy told me I don't want to buy there. Where it's let it retrace. Now, where am I? Well, that could be a C. Could be a corrective structure. If I get this, where am I? Do you see the advantage here? Because if I'm just trading support and resistance, I don't know where the fuck I am. I'm going, oh shit, man, I don't know. I see here, it looks like there's resistance there. Oh, well, maybe it'll keep going and I'll get resistance up here. Right? That is that's just caveman trading. You don't need to do that. Use your brain. Use your brain. Trade with precision, because this is not going to be that. Most likely. Talk about a high class problem. Now I've got this one. All right. So if I hit here, I'm just hitting off of this one. So what is that setting up? 1, 2, 3, right? I'm looking for a 2, right? So now do you see how you can start stacking this? See, what I'm trying to get to here is this is how one trade like this, one asset can make your year. If it plays ball, right? So I've got 1, 2, 1, 2. If it plays ball with you, and it will be the minority, not the majority, that will do this. But it just takes one of these where you're in flow with the market. So if I get that, what am I thinking? I'm still looking for this 3 at least up here. There's the 1618. So now I'm thinking, holy shit, look what I got here. I got another. So I kind of clear it up here. Geez, I got so many lines on here. I know you can't. To get you guys fired up to the idea here. Now, if I go 1, 2, I'm looking for a big 3, and I can do the whole thing over. Oh my God, look at this. Look at this structure I have to play off of here. Just like I've got structure to play off here. Now, this is prior resistance. Doesn't mean, right? It's more commonly, it'd be prior support becomes the resistance. Not, well, shit, it was resistance before. Maybe it'll be again. Right? It's possible. Right? Certainly possible. Well, it's stalled right here. Supply came into the market last time I got here. Certainly could happen again. Am I sad about that? Well, no, because all that's doing is setting up now I can label it. And I can go, okay, well, it's not just a random location where I ran into some structure. I know where I am way more than the guy who goes, well, I'm going to sell it there because I ran into some structure there. No, where am I buying it? Well, I guess I'll buy it down here. He doesn't have anywhere near the precision that an Elliott trader has, or someone using algorithms and geometry has. Essentially, you could take the Elliott out here. You could just do this based off of golden corners and corners. Oh, look, I got that one. Oh, perfect. Oh, and I did it in a 5. See, why would you? This is what confuses me. It's someone who teaches this over and over and over and again. I get comments, people saying, "Oh, fucking Elliott Wave, that's just bullshit." What? If you got that and you got it in a 5, why wouldn't you do the deductive reasoning and say, "Oh, I just got a 5"? I don't know much about Elliott Wave, but if I see a 5 and it follows by a 3, I'm interested. Why would you not use that level of precision in your trading? Why would you not do that? I don't understand. The only thing I can come up with is that you're just too lazy to do it. Because this is hard. This is not easy. It takes time to learn. It's not fucking rocket science, but anybody can learn this. But you're not going to be a master day one or week one or year one. You've got to see, the market has to teach you some lessons, like not buying into double tops and not selling into double bottoms. The market is your ultimate teacher. Everything, I can go on for hours here trying to teach you, but the thing you're going to learn the most from is when the market smacks you. Oh, shit. I knew I shouldn't have done that. I've said that 1,000 times, right? Which is why I can say with conviction here, if you give this, you could make your whole year right here. You could goddamn near retire off of this, depending on how aggressively you're trading this. Because look where we're going if this is going to play. Look where this is potentially going. If this is the one, this is all going up here. And we're going up. If that's the 1, 2, we're going, and look where we're at $42. If this is going to be a major player here in the crypto space, and who knows, right? Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. They're going to be massive winners. What do we got? 3,000 alts now? Figure 80% of them here are going to be gone in 5 years, or they're going to have morphed into something else. So there'll be something that's better that replaces it here. But just one of these going to 44, $50. You're less concerned about your financial circumstance if you catch just one, which is the point of doing this all over and over and over and over and over again, because it just takes one of these fuckers to fly and change your life. Change your life. What is that? 75 to 1? That's why you do the work. That's why we're trying to teach this to you so you can have that life-changing kind of experience. All right, I got to get off because I'm dying to buy this. I'm absolutely dying to end this live stream so I can buy this. Right. So So if you're on there saying, "Well, shit, that guy said he's going to buy it, I'm going to buy it." Don't go balls deep here. Get a piece of it now. Watch it play. Right. There'll be plenty of opportunity to add along the way, which is why if it starts to go, you're always adding with house money. That's when you get aggressive, when you've got a nice big cushion to work with. Oh. Buy it in here. Look, I'm already working with house money. We're still trying to complete the 1 here. If I get that 2, all right, we got everybody covered. I think we did.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to buy some Thor chain. First, I better figure out what the hell they are. Okay, but I sure like their technicals. Thank you to whoever brought that up. I should be paying you. That is really a good one to spot. All right, let's call it a day. We went kind of long there.
Yeah, no worries though. We'll be
okay, guys. Thanks.
Back around tomorrow for traditionals.
Well, traditionals tomorrow, right? Same. Here's what you're going to find tomorrow. Exactly the same thing. They all trade the same way. Why? Because who's trading it? People and software. Both. When you look at the herd of them, right? The herd of people, that's what makes Elliott Wave tick, because the herd does the same thing. And the algorithms we can spot. We don't know all the algorithms, but we know this one, it leaves a nice big fat footprint. Okay, let's wrap it up here because I need to eat and I'm going to go buy some Thor chain. All right, guys. Thanks again. Thanks to whoever put up that whoever got us on this. That's a great one, guys. If you're not in it, you're not getting in it, get it on your watch list. That could be a big runner. Okay, guys, you have a great day. I will be back tomorrow. We'll look at traditionals and you'll find that I'm going to take you through the exact same thing. And maybe if you watch it enough times, you start to think, wow, there's something here. Maybe at some point you say, hey, maybe I'm going to go check out those guys. Maybe I'll join their, well, you can join us for free, get started on the white belt. And you say, well, hey, I kind of like the way that lays out. Maybe I want to go after that blue belt. See, if you start that progression, you don't have to think, oh shit, man, is this going to cost me hundreds and hundreds or thousands of dollars? That's up to you. You can go from free to social and say, all right, okay, I'm going to try the blue, right? You're not committed to that for life. Get the blue and say, hey, do I like it? Do I want to go for purple? We have a lot of traders who go, oh, white, okay, I want to play for the blue. Okay, do I like the blue? Did I pass blue? Well, if I pass blue, do I want to go for purple? Well, it's a little more of it's not is not a huge commitment, but you're going to put another $199 a month into it. Well, okay. Well, so there's a little motivation. Shit, I don't want to waste that money. So I'm going to work on purple. Now, purple is going to take you a little more time because what we're not trying to do is make it easy. We're trying to make it hard because trading is hard. It's the greatest illusion of all time. How hard can it be? It's going to go up or it's going to go down. How hard can that be? This is the hardest way to make money I know of, right? Which is what drew me to it originally. All right, guys, let's call it a day. As you'll note, right, you can always, underneath here is our link tree. You get all sorts of access to our stuff. You can always join us for free and start on the white belt. That's 4 hours of content. And we're going to challenge you in the white belt, even though it's free. All right, with that, I'll wrap it. You guys have a great one. Back tomorrow with traditionals.